The Jungle Cruise is a simulated riverboat cruise that travels along a waterway using a concealed guidance system through areas with South American themes. Park guests board replica steam launches from a 1930s British explorers. Wait a second, what? Andre, this is just the description for the ride.
Ah!
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
And Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 154.
that was fancy.
Fo.
Dang.
I feel like he gets like more enthusiastic each time he says
154.
that.
I'm just excited to be here, you guys.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
it's weird. Once we go to the every other week thing, what is that? Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
We don't get to see each
I'll
other.
be like,
as
where's
much.
my friends?
Yeah, it's very sad.
That's true.
I don't have too many friends.
Yeah, you do.
I have just
don't.
enough.
I have just enough.
Just enough friends.
So this week we was watching.
Hey, you stole that right out of my mouth.
Ooh, the Jungle Cruise.
This week, we are talking about the 2021 brand new live-action Disney film, Jungle Cruise.
How
It's
dare
not
you
the
take that
Jungle
away?
Cruise?
It is not the Jungle Cruise. It is just
That's-
Jungle Cruise.
But the ride
Jungle.
is the Jungle Cruise.
It used to be the Jungle River Cruise.
I wish everyone could see your hand moving as you say that.
Really
He's got
confused
flashing lights in
because,
his hands.
Like when I go to Disneyland, I'm like, I don't say like, let's go on Jungle Cruise. I say like, let's go on the Jungle Cruise.
Sure.
Yeah, but they named the movie without the.
No the.
Yeah, it's just Jungle Cruise.
Me no likey.
I wonder if it's because it is a Jungle Cruise because of the way that you would explain it.
Right. And
'Cause it's
Yeah.
more of a noun. No, it's
I
not a
watched
noun.
Jungle Cruise, the movie, and then in the park I get to go on the Jungle Cruise.
Right.
Okay, whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
This movie stars Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, who we just watched in Quiet Place Part 2. And so I kind of forgot she had a British accent because she's British.
Sure.
I was like, oh yeah, because she had an
She had
was
an
doing
American, accent in
that
A Quiet
movie.
Place. That's right. in
And
both
I
of
feel
those
like that's
movies.
all I've like really seen her in lately because I didn't watch the new Mary Poppins.
I haven't seen that either.
Did you guys watch that?
No, we didn't watch it either.
Oh, I guess that's something that we could.
Was she
Maybe
in
we
the
should do it for the
Adjustment Bureau?
podcast.
Wait, what?
Was she in the Adjustment Bureau?
The Adjustment Bureau.
I liked that
vaguely
movie.
remember that movie with Matt Damon.
It would have been better without Matt Damon. but-
Hey, don't you say that about that angel. That
Wow.
Bostonian angel.
Matt Damon. Yes, Emily Blunt
She
was
was in there
in
too. Yeah.
The Adjustment
Maybe we
Bureau
need to do Mary Poppins Returns.
from 2011.
It's got Lin-Manuel. I don't know.
Luis loves him.
Loves Lin-Manuel.
Hey, I got my boys back. Andre, I got you.
Oh, okay.
He-
Why?
Hey, well, whoever he doesn't like, I won't like either.
Okay,
Even
fair
though
enough.
he got over it, I'm still not.
All right.
I'm completely over my dislike of Lin-Manuel Miranda. So much so that I kind of forgot what you were talking about for a second.
Oh, you like
I
it now?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, see, I always...
Luis will never be over it because Andre said once that
Yeah,
he
one
doesn't
time
like
I
his
liked it.
cousin.
I
we
like
did
that
watch
fool.
Into the Heights, and he was like, I like it. And I was like, I think Lin-Manuel Miranda's bugging me more now than him. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this dude got his hands in everything. Writing musicals. Getting lots of
His
money.
hands and everything.
Yeah.
His little raccoon hands everywhere.
All right, you
Hands
guys.
Open the pots.
I feel like he would have little raccoon mittens too.
Probably.
So
All right.
composing.
Hey, before we
We're
start
gonna-
anything else, you want to Louis ask a question?
Yeah, we're going to do the warm-up question. It's funny because we wanted to not call it the warm-up question, and we're going to ask Louis ask a question. I don't know, like Forky, and then we still call it the warm-up question.
Now, what's wrong with the warm-up question? Gotta warm up those, brain cells.
Yeah, I got focus.
Is that what we're using here? Is our brain
Gotta
cells?
focus
Yeah,
my brain
mine are
cells.
not
Gotta
warm.
get our neurons firing so we
I
can
know.
talk about this podcast.
I know. Well, Luis has
Teacher
so
Lou, go ahead.
Luis has so generously let me pose the warm-up question this week.
Wow.
And this is because Andre and I have been watching the reality TV show called Big Brother. and we were watching it, and it's just a group, like a house with like a group of like 10 people in it. So they have been living together for a couple weeks, and they were all sitting on the couch, and they were calling each other out on what Disney character they embody, right? So there was this really sassy gay man, and they said he was Philoctetes from Hercules, or
that's
right. So they were like, you're Philoctetes, and they were just like, this is who this person embodies. So we're going to go around the table and say who we think this person embodies.
Who we think each other are from Disney
movies. Let's start with Andre.
Oh.
But you don't get to say who you think you are.
Oh,
Emily, Luis, and myself are going to discuss who we think Andre embodies.
Okay.
What if this takes longer than our conversation on the Jungle
I don't
Cruise?
think it will.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
so
go.
Andre, he is, first of all,
Funny.
a boy, so I guess we can knock out the females.
I mean, I don't know. There might be a funny female.
That he embodies, maybe. I don't know.
He kind of looks like
I
Gazelle.
like to embody
My
a couple.
initial instinct...
Not your body, not your face.
My initial instinct is to call him Aladdin, even though I don't know if he necessarily is. It's just because he sings that song.
I am a big fat liar.
Because he sings that song really
I was
well.
gonna
I
say
just
Genie,
lied to
but that's
my
also Aladdin.
girlfriend.
Genie? Maybe.
You're pretty funny
Because he's funny.
and spontaneous.
There's also other funny people, like Timon's pretty funny.
yeah, but he's not as sarcastic as Timon.
No.
Timon eats bugs.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I didn't say you eat bugs.
Who else?
Who else is funny? Kinda
Luis
like
is
this.
very intently thinking about this right now. I wish you could see his face.
Yeah, he's using his noggin.
Wait, does it have to be from a cartoon?
It just has to be something Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, a cartoon character, not a live action
Oh,
person.
okay.
An
Wait,
animated.
why a cartoon character? Why
Just
can't
an
it be
animated Disney
why
character.
can't it be a live person?
Because I said so.
Hey, sometimes you put some stipulations,
Because
okay?
that's the way they were doing it on this TV show.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
It was a cartoon character. So I was thinking for a second that Andre might be Hades because like he doesn't really like people. No new friends.
No new friends.
And Hades is kind
no
of
old
funny.
friends either.
But I am now thinking that my lovely husband
Only
is
dead friends.
Baloo
Dead friends.
from the Jungle Book.
Oh.
He's funny. He is lazy. He likes food.
No.
And he likes to have other people do work for him.
Bro,
I'm pretty sure Andre's Baloo from the Jungle Book.
let's go.
That's pretty good. Can I tell you who I came up with?
Yeah.
Sneezy.
Sneezy.
Wait, why
Because he's a little
Sneezy?
drippy?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, on his wedding
He's a little
day,
drippy.
I feel like I said this before on the podcast, but on his wedding day, he had to pull out his. Do you have some in your pocket right
No,
now?
I don't think so. I
He
thought
literally
I
had
saw that.
tissues in his pocket, and he pulled it out, like, and then had to dab himself, and then put it back in.
Yeah.
And at first, I thought it was for his eyes. He was dabbing his nose.
Dude, you got those
little
like, little
drippy.
golden wrapper candies in your pockets too, or something?
No, not yet.
Not yet. But he
That's the next
does
10
have a
years.
drippy nose. Andre has
Yeah,
a drippy nose.
my nose stayed drippy.
I do like Baloo. That one's good. But my other one was Miko from Pocahontas.
The raccoon?
The raccoon?
Because you like to eat,
Bro,
and you.
yeah.
you
If somebody
like-
was laying cookies out all the time, I would be that person's friend. You know.
And he likes to, he likes to know everything. So he's curious, and he gets all up in the business
Yeah, but
Okay.
I
to
don't
be
talk.
in there.
Okay. Luis,
His
what
little
were,
raccoon hands.
what were you thinking, Luis? For Andre?
That rooster minstrel from
From Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
What? Why?
Well, because he tells a good story and he leads up like in
Through
his
songs.
jokes and stuff like that. He has a good voice.
I can't.
Like I could have Andre narrate that.
Robin
whole movie
Hood,
for me
little
and
John,
it's
walking
insane.
through the forest. Think, think,
You
think,
know,
think,
that's him.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
I like
so
it.
do you want to be Baloo or the rooster?
Did I say
Oh.
it right? Minstrel or there's a certain.
It's minstrel.
Okay, what was
minstrel,
our
that's what
top
I
three?
meant to say.
Little Drippy, Sneezy,
Little drippy.
Little
What's that
Drippy.
guy's name?
Sneezy.
Sneezy.
No.
Oh, the minstrel? Oh, I actually
What is
don't
his
know.
name?
Let me
Does
see.
he have a name?
Yeah.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Look, look.
No, he does have a name. I just don't know what his
Rooster
name is.
from Nottingham Forest?
let me see,
Oodaladi,
let me see.
oodaladi, oodaladi.
Oh, yeah, it's the Oodalali guy.
Ooh, the lally.
That's you, bro.
Oodalali.
It's Alana Dale. Wait, is that it?
Lauderdale, yeah.
Alana Dale.
A lot of down.
Yep.
Okay, so we have to decide which one we think embodies Andre more.
Oh, we have to choose one.
I say you're that guy. You're the rooster.
I'm Alana Dale.
I think
Alana,
He's quite
it's
the performer.
Alanadale,
I'm
yeah.
pretty convinced on Baloo.
I mean, that one has a good point.
But
Man.
the oodle lolly was funny.
I like
And so was a little drippy. I like all those. Okay.
I would say though that the Baloo is funny because Andre outwardly to other people is not lazy, but I've heard Michelle say so many times
Yo,
that
he's so lazy.
like, oh my god,
So
these dishes
am I,
have been
but-
sitting here forever.
Oh, yeah.
And then he like is trying to barter and trade his life away so that someone else will do it.
Let's not talk about the dishes.
Oh, he does try to barter. He'll be like, but
We're trying to have a good
Is
time
it?
out here, you know?
Yeah.
The dishes brings me down. That's
Yeah.
why I don't do them.
like if
Still bringing up those dishes you ain't
if
done.
Andre had what's the little boy from that movie?
What little boy? From what movie?
From
Baloo.
what movie?
What's Baloo?
The Jungle Book?
Mowgli?
Mowgli. If Andre had a little Mowgli
Right,
to
Mowgli.
like
That's
trick
Dougie.
into getting food.
Dougie is Mowgli.
Oh yeah, Dougie's Mowgli.
I'm like, scratch your back like this, dog. Ah.
All right. So now we are moving on to who are we moving on to next? Emily?
You can do me next, yeah.
Okay, I think Emily is Meg from Hercules.
Why?
Because she takes no crap.
No crap.
I don't know. She took
In
quite
college, Emily was a
she took
Meg.
quite a bit of crap from Hades getting pushed around all that time.
No, but Emily was.
Well, she sold. I did not sell my
chance,
soul, but she be
no
selling
way,
my soul.
She won't say no. Yeah.
Louise came in and he broke some hearts. So
Yeah.
that
Louise
made
was
him
Hercules.
smile. Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think Emily is Meg, but I also think that when we were like the 4 people from Inside Out for Halloween and you were disgust, that was also like perfect.
Yes, I'm a good disgust.
I think you're Go-Go from Big Hero 6.
Which one was Go-Go?
Yeah,
Oh,
the one on
very-
skates?
the
little
the
skatey
skates,
one. Ooh,
yeah.
she was cool.
She had
She was
short
heckin'
hair and
cool.
she was very snippy and wouldn't take any BS. So.
I always just remember the lemon one from
Oh, I know, Honey Lemon.
Honey Lemon.
No.
Go-Go was cool.
I like that.
Another one I had for Andre was Fred
Fred?
from Big Hero 6.
Oh,
Fred.
Yeah, he was
man.
pretty silly.
Oh,
Yeah, he
man.
was
I
silly.
would love to have that suit with the fire that it breathes or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, "Arr."
And Stanley being your dad.
That was a good
Yeah,
one.
dude, Stanley's my superhero dad. It's cool.
What
It's
did you
cool.
think for Louise?
For Louise?
Yeah.
Hold on, did we agree on me? Am I Go-Go? You Go-Go?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, what did you think for Emily?
I had Captain Amelia from Treasure Planet. She's like the boss British lady on the ship.
I don't remember that
And she's got a
character.
hat.
She got a hat.
And she takes it off. And she swings a sword, I believe, of some kind.
She could also be that
Yeah,
lady
remember.
from Wreck-It Ralph. Who's the blonde lady that is in the shooting game?
Jane Lynch lady.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
Jane Lynch
that
lady.
could be Emily.
Is that just because of her
Oh.
haircut?
No. She's like a boss.
All of these really sassy ladies. I love it. I was going to put
I feel
myself...
like I could be Fix-It-Felix.
Oh, you stole the one I had for you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Oh.
Well, I wouldn't have known
I know.
until you have said it.
Yeah.
I know.
You told yourself.
Yes, totally.
I was going to say either Zazu for myself because I'm pretty persnickety and snippety. Or, no, I'm just going to say it. Or, was her name Nani? Lilo's sister?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because she also was snippy, but she's like, get it together.
Nah, you
Dang it.
Lilo.
Dang it, Lilo. I'm Lilo?
No, yeah.
Whoa.
you Lilo getting in fights with people.
You foaming
man.
at the mouth and
Wow.
biting girls at dance recital and stuff.
You know, sounds like Adeline to me.
Bad
Oh,
lines,
she's-
Lilo.
nah, she's, yeah, anyways.
All right.
That's actually
Anywho, I appreciate the snappy characters.
I thought
Thank
Meg
you
was
guys.
good, but
Okay.
whatever.
Alright,
She's
Okay.
pretty
you.
snappy.
Well, me next? Okay, go ahead.
Oh.
This is the one I'm not ready
let's
for.
just go with me then.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
let's
thought
go
we were
with
going in
you.
a circle. Okay, so I think that Louise
Louise.
could definitely be Fix-It Felix. I don't know why. I think that's hilarious.
Pretty friendly.
He is too friendly.
Way too friendly for Louise.
Like if you were like Fix-It Felix mixed with a little anger in there, like that'd be pretty funny.
Okay.
Who were you thinking? Because I have a couple for him.
For Louise, I wrote Bagheera from the.
I wrote Bagheera first
Oh, for
too.
real?
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
I
Yeah,
can see
it's
Bagheera.
just
Okay.
big cat dad energy over there. You know?
I put
Dad.
I put Bagheera and Cogsworth.
Cogsworth is perfect. Oh my god, he is so Cogsworth.
Why didn't I think of Cogsworth?
Freaking Cogsworth is perfect.
But Bagheera was good too. That literally was my first one. It was Bagheera, then Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
Like,
Rabbit. You know,
gosh,
I was gonna say owl at
Rabbit.
one point, but I was like, he doesn't read that much. I don't know if he's an owl.
Rabbit.
Rabbit is-
I don't read that much.
I'm pretty sold on Cogsworth.
Those
dude.
ones are good, Lou.
I was gonna be mean and just be like, oh, he's Olaf. Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't you guys know
When I
that
look at
Luis
Lou,
is
that's
Olaf?
He's so mad.
I think of Olaf.
That made me laugh.
He
Good
just
job.
said that makes no sense. Like snow.
Snow
Ding,
sense.
ding.
Okay.
Cogsworth.
So, Michelle?
Yeah, I guess me next, huh?
Yeah, you're next. For you, I wrote...
It's not The Little Mermaid, okay?
No, it's not.
I was not going to say that.
Great.
I wrote Charlotte LaBeouf from The Princess and the Frog. She's the like white girl best friend, and
Yeah.
she is my favorite. I just
She
love her
is
so much.
such a
She's so
fantastic
like
character.
bubbly and cute, and she loves beignets, and that's Michelle.
Dude, I love beignets. Yes.
That's a really awesome, like, choice.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know. I'm having a really hard time with Michelle, honestly.
go.
Go ahead.
I would say Dory.
Dory.
Oh, what?
Sometimes the stuff that comes out of your mouth, is, come on.
It's true. I kind of am in my own world a lot of the time.
Come on. Oh, that's
It's
hilarious.
not a bad one, Luis. Yeah.
Dory, Charlotte, you got one?
I mean, they're both kind of little lost in the head.
Well, no, that's actually the funny thing. I don't think it's the loss of
I
the
know
head.
who
Yeah.
Michelle is.
Eh.
She's Chen Po from Mulan.
Which one's shampoo?
The one that likes food.
The one that
Beef, pork,
No, the one that
chicken.
loves the Asian food. 'Cause
She
that's
does love
you.
Asian
I love
food.
Asian food.
Yeah, that's true.
Heck yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
can't.
But Chen Po was the only one that could swim in that. Okay, he had to like lift everybody
yeah,
up.
He was. He was like lifting everybody up.
That's true.
Freaking Champo's legit.
Wife strong.
Dude, I would.
Okay.
I do like Charlotte
You
better,
realize we're
but
pretty much the freaking Mulan freaking cast. You're Chen Po. You're that skinny
Mushu?
one with
Shut up, I'm not
the
Mushu.
funny one.
you don't want to be
He's
Mushu.
the
point.
skinny
He's the
funny
chubby
one.
mean one.
I'm the
pointy
chubby mean one. You're Mulan.
All right, done. There
Yeah,
we go,
I
guys.
like
We're
that.
gonna make our own
Shit.
Mulan.
Oh,
movie.
so you're Ling?
His
Ling?
he's
Ping?
Ling.
No, I'm Ping. You're
He's
Ling.
Ling.
I'm Ling. Get it
Ping,
right.
Yeah.
Ling.
I'm,
What's his name? He's the buff one.
Zhao?
No, that's isn't that Emperor Zhao?
Pulling up the
Oh.
Mulan cast.
I don't know. The guy with
I'm
the weird eye and
something
the
king
buff
of the
hands.
rock.
And then Ollie can be the cricket and Addie can be Mushu.
Pretty sure Andre's Mushu, but whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, why didn't we think of Mushu for Andre?
I'm a big
He's
dragon.
lean.
I didn't got mad. That was
That
funny.
was funny. Okay, we're done with the.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, let us know who you would cast.
Yeah, because
as us.
we only took about 15 minutes to think about this, and I'm sure like later I'm gonna be in bed like falling asleep and I'm like, what the hell is this one? Like so.
He's also Mrs. Incredible.
All right.
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum.
Hey, Charlotte was pretty thick too, so.
Indeed.
Okay, moving on.
All right, so
She was
Why does she always
fantastic.
have those fluffy dresses? I can never tell.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
she
I'm
had-
pretty
she
sure
had
you can
fluffy
tell.
dresses on and then like
Usually those expand things
Oh,
like 2
she
feet in radius.
back into the fray.
bustiers.
Back into the fray.
She goes like this.
Yeah, she does.
That's the scene I was thinking of.
Anyway, Jungle Cruise.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Really good.
I got it.
Sorry.
Are you? All right.
Luis is getting used to the poof on his head.
Jungle Cruise, first impressions. Would you
Oh,
like to
Jungle
start,
Cruise
dear?
first impressions? Yes. I was pleasantly
Yes.
surprised. Pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really watch too many trailers or anything like that because I kind of thought it was just going to be like a lame Haunted Mansion. Like, here we go. Like, we're doing another ride movie, and none of the ride movies have turned out very good so far. I was pleasantly surprised. I really like The Rock and Emily Blunt, so I was hopeful, but not too hopeful. You know? There were some good twists in it that kept me a little more intrigued. And it also paid homage to the ride in like a good way.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Pirates of the Caribbean does. Like
In
homage
small-
to the ride.
Small spots, yeah.
in the right places. So I really liked it. I enjoyed it, and I am excited to watch it again, and I'm excited to see the changes that they've done in the ride as well.
It was the best rub on the nose I've ever seen.
Okay, well, you go next.
Best rub on the nose.
Yeah, you know, like when it's like you guys say.
It's like right on the nose.
Yeah, that saying,
Yeah.
whatever that was.
Rubbing
Anyways,
on that nose.
I
So
love
you
that
liked it?
movie. I love that movie. I knew the moment I seen the first trailer, like the 10-second clip, I was like, this movie's gonna be legit. I knew it.
He was ready.
It wasn't even a doubt about it. I don't know. I'm a big Rock fan. And
Yeah.
most of
me
his
too.
movies. Except those weird ones where he's like, jumping off a single building and get underneath him with like one leg off.
That's the best one.
San Andreas?
Or Skyline.
Escape to Witch Mountain.
What's it called? Skyscraper?
I'd say San Andreas would be better than that skyscraper one. Like, I don't know.
I saw both of those movies, and they was both dope. It was The Rock just throwing people around.
And if you didn't know, we live right next to that San Andreas fault, so it is very realistic.
Yeah, we had an earthquake like 2 weeks ago.
Dwayne, save us! Dwayne!
We've been doing earthquake drills at work the past couple weeks,
Yeah,
ever
say
since
you're
that earthquake.
welcome.
Yeah.
I know you gonna sing some welcomes up in
You're
here.
welcome.
All right.
I'm glad you liked it. Emily.
I did not have expectations going into it. I didn't watch any trailers. I just saw like what's on TV kind of a trailer, so it's just a passing fancy. And I actually really liked it. I mean, there's qualms, but there's always qualms in these types of things.
Sure.
But I liked it, and I would totally watch it again.
Indeed.
Fully agree. Andre.
I'm Andre.
Andre.
I like this movie. Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, my expectations from it were mid to low, I guess. I was more interested in seeing what they were going to do with another ride property turned into a movie, so like Pirates, they kind of nailed it until they didn't anymore, and then Haunted Mansion, boo, Tomorrowland, boo.
Yeah.
What's the other
Oh
one?
yeah, Tomorrowland. I wanted to
bad.
like that so
I know.
bad.
It was bad.
Awful.
I feel like there's one more. Isn't there another ride movie?
I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm thinking of this one, Jungle Cruise, which is not a boo. It's a hey, you can watch this and
It's
have
not a
fun
boat.
and go back on the ride. Yeah, I think that The Rock and Emily Blunt had really good performances. A lot of funny stuff between them. I liked their chemistry.
They had good chemistry.
I wasn't sure what to expect going in. I didn't think that there was going to be like a romance between them necessarily, but I was happy with what ended up happening in the movie between them and stuff like that.
And the secondary and tertiary characters were good.
All good. Yes.
Oh, her brother.
The brother's
stole
great.
the show for me. He was my
The
favorite.
bad guy is hilarious.
Yeah.
The German
Luis
dude.
loves
I
that
love
guy.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
hecka
Date
funny.
Night, and he was also on Friday Night
Yes,
Lights.
Date Night.
So
Oh,
I've known
so
this.
good.
He was. It's funny because Date
We
Night.
saw him in something else though too recently.
He was in Breaking Bad as well.
Date Night, and then this movie he's funny, right?
Yeah.
But in Friday Night Lights, he wasn't that funny. He was just like this geeky, nerdy, white boy from Texas who
Right.
wants to play football. But I've always liked that actor.
That's what he's like in Breaking Bad too. His name is Jesse Plemons.
Das Doctor.
Prince
Das Prince.
Joachim.
He was hilarious.
He was
Young
very
dog.
funny.
Joachim.
I don't know. The brother kind of stole the show for me.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
The
He
young
was
dog.
freaking hilarious. Him with all of his suitcases on the show. I was like, oh my
The brother
gosh.
was played by Jack Whitehall. He played
Yeah.
McGregor.
Well, and I liked
Funny.
what's the famous guy that was at the beginning who owned all the boats?
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Giamatti.
There you
love
go.
that.
I got so excited when I saw him. I was like, it's Paul Giamatti!
Yeah, he did.
Luis was very
I
excited.
love that guy.
He was
Yes.
quite funny.
I liked him a lot too.
Anywho, so the beginning of this movie, I was kind of happy with because it got like 90% of the on the nose type things out of the way.
Right. That's
Like
it's great.
110% agree with
Like
you.
I was happy that we did it, we enjoyed it, and then we got it out of the way and then had a story.
It all
And I
happened
like-
before the title.
And I
card.
like
Right.
that they set it up with their little narration at the beginning. This is the story of the Jungle Cruise or whatever, not the Jungle Cruise, or this jungle and the tree and blah, blah, blah. Yes, Louise?
Okay.
The kids were talking through this part, so I think Luis and I
at the
were a
very
little...
beginning.
Yeah,
So
it
he's
was like the
narrating
exposition.
back in the there was a expedition and they came to Brazil and they were looking for this and the tree to get the
arrowhead,
pedal.
the
It makes
the
me think of
pedals.
like El
And
Dorado.
now they're stuck at the jungle.
They're
Yes.
thinking of like the
Yeah.
Golden
So I
City or
liked,
whatever.
because I was wondering, like, how are they really going to make this a story? Like it's a ride. Like, how are they going to make a story? So I like that they set that up right away. And then immediately after that, we see The Rock giving a literal jungle cruise on the Amazon.
That's right.
And it was just like I was on the ride, and I really wanted him to be my skipper for sure. And every time we go on the jungle cruise. It's literally not my favorite ride.
No.
Like I just
But
go
you
on
go
it 'cause
for
it
the
has-
ridiculousness.
You
Yes.
just go on it because it has a 15-minute wait, and you can walk on and sit on a boat and roll your eyes every time they say, "Here's the backside of water."
Laugh hysterically like
Andre
does.
really loves that ride because he
Dude,
thinks
I
it's
can't stand that one
hilarious.
joke. All the other
Which
ones are
one? The,
hecka
the backside
funny.
of water?
Yeah, but that backside of water, like,
It's the stupidest.
It's so stupid.
So I laugh at it. But yeah, I really liked all this rock as the skipper from Disneyland kind of thing in the beginning here, because he hits on some jokes that you definitely know, right? And then he like follows up with like a little tag to it that makes it a little bit funny. Where what was he talking about? He was like, I once dated a girl who was cross-eyed.
Yeah.
We didn't see eye to eye.
She was seeing.
I'm pretty sure she was seeing someone else. I was like, come on.
Yeah, she was seeing someone else on the side.
Yeah, that's right.
That was pretty funny.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Those were
So
good.
I liked all of those types.
They were
of,
like
types
dad skipper jokes.
Oh, dude,
Exactly.
I love those type of
It was
jokes.
great, and it was cool because the movie has started, but we don't know that it hasn't like fully started yet or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So he's leading these people on this jungle cruise, and you don't find out until like a couple of minutes in that it's the ride from Disneyland. Basically,
And it's
he's rigged
really-
it up.
Yeah,
He's got a
he's rigged
hippo.
it, which I think is the fun
Oh, that's
part.
right.
Yes.
Those dad jokes came before he started busting all those.
Yeah.
other ones.
Exactly. Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
So he's
yes,
just
yes.
doing his thing, but then you see him like flip a lever, and then you see him like,
Right. So
no.
he's a trickster and a shyster.
It's very good.
He's very charming. So he takes all these people's money, and it's great.
Oh,
I
that's
knew he was
fantastic.
gonna start doing that once I seen him pull out that piece.
Peace.
The gun.
That's when I knew he was gonna start doing it. Yeah.
What kind of guy you gotta be to say pull out that
Pull
piece?
out that piece though. He had it on him. Got that
Jeez
thing on him.
Louise.
So
My favorite was I don't know if you guys talked about, but the hippo.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
fake
yeah.
hippo.
hippo that he had under
Same.
the water.
I'm pretty sure they like shot that on the Jungle Cruise.
It's literally so funny.
Yeah, so it's hilarious, and he
Or when he said he was going to feed the little girl to the anaconda.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I will literally feed you to this anaconda. I was like, I wish they were kind of mean like that to us at Disneyland. Like, that's
Right.
funny.
It could be a
I
little
thought
bit
it was
meaner,
very
honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, half the people who like kind of scoff and make fun of the skippers on there, like we had a person who was like trying to contradict the skipper. I'm like, just throw that in the water, man. Come
Like,
on.
Yeah, this last time we went on it,
Yeah, tell him.
I
Like,
was like very annoyed because
It's a novelty piece.
oh, with the
You should be
kids when you guys
grateful.
went?
yeah,
went
we
on
just went a couple weeks ago and we went on it since it's been like redone.
Oh, nice.
And it was cool. I liked the changes that they made because they are correctly more what do you call it, like culturally sensitive and
whatever,
stuff,
yeah.
but the jokes that they make about it are funny.
Yes.
Like they talk it through pretty well, but
What-
the kids and the families that were on the boat with the skipper were like trying to contradict the skipper hardcore. That's not actually true. And that's
Oh.
not exactly how that would happen in real life.
I think the piranhas actually
I know, and
do
I'm like,
that.
What's the point?
why are you on here? Go on a different ride.
Get out of here, nerds.
You should have
Nobody likes you.
See if like the headhunters and stuff were still on them, or like the ones that are shooting the arrows. I would have been like, y'all, I'll feed you to them.
Right?
I'll feed you to them.
Back up.
You've
I
been
don't know.
eaten by a person before?
The
So
cannibals.
anywho,
Yeah.
I agree. I thought that part was really cute, and then
Yeah.
he gets off his tour, lets everybody off, and then here comes Paul
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
swindling down the road.
'cause-
straight up takes his engine out of his boat.
Well, yeah, you know, he
Frank owes me money.
the boat
That was really
that
funny.
Frank has is very old and very rickety, and it's pulling together. It reminds me of like the Millennium Falcon in some ways.
A little
It's like-
bit.
it's just like, okay, this thing is constantly under construction because it barely
Yeah.
runs, but when it runs really well, and it dodges torpedoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought.
So on
That was ridiculous.
on the
We'll get
other
into
side
that.
of the world, we get introduced to Emily Blunt's character, and
Lily, right?
She's Dr. Lily something, whatever her last name is, and she wrote a paper about this tree in the middle of the jungle that has all these healing properties and
Basically,
stuff like
the
that.
petal from the tree is a cure-all
Right.
for all diseases and all curses. Okay, not just diseases, also curses.
Oh, I thought you said purses.
No, curses.
I was like,
too.
man,
Like
I
the
need to
curse
have
of
that
the
in
Black
my
Pearl.
house. So my
Captain
wife and
Jack.
mother-in-law stop getting purses.
Captain Jack
Speaking
Sparrow.
of, she got one 2 days ago,
Oh,
Luis.
really?
Oh, really? So yeah.
snap.
So Lily, because she's a woman and it's 1916, I believe.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking her seriously as a professional, as an academic.
'cause she
as
wears
a-
pants.
As a person, she wears pants, and everybody's freaking out about it. Like, whoa, what's going on with the pants, lady?
I love it.
Where's
It's
your
so
dress
funny.
at? So she has her brother.
Where's your dress?
So she has her
Mama,
brother,
who's dressed?
McGregor. have him give the speech of the paper that she wrote to present it to these people so that she could get funding so they could go on an expedition and find
the arrowhead.
Find the arrowhead.
So they have the arrowhead at this society or whatever, like a historical society.
It's like a gentleman's.
It's like a gentleman's club. Luis, explain that better to me.
I think that used to be a thing, like back in the day. Like
Yeah.
historians would
just hang out.
They wouldn't. I think I don't know. It's almost like a little fraternity.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
League of
not only would they
Explorers.
be teaching like at a university, but they would be part of this historical society.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes
And
sense.
if I'm correct, I think their father was part of this place.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
He was.
Exactly. So that's how
So-
she knew about all of this stuff because of her dad and
Her
he
dad had an
told them
obsession
stories.
with it. Yes.
Exactly.
So obviously they're like, no, we're not going to give you money for this, and we're not going to give you this arrowhead.
laugh you out of the
So
room,
she
basically.
straight up steals the arrowhead. She's kind of like Aladdin. She she knows her way around.
She really goes
things.
for it. She's gung-ho.
And picking locks and hiding and disguising. You know, like she's definitely her own person and knows what she wants.
Yeah.
I really liked her character a lot. So she steals the arrowhead, but lo and behold, another party is interested. A prince from Germany.
Prince
Did you say
Joaquin.
Hermione?
Germany.
Hermione.
I heard a prince from Hermione.
Germany.
Prince Joaquin, which is a weird name, but he's very silly and eccentric, and he.
Because we're in World War One. Luis,
Yes.
who was
It's
in?
always Nazi.
But I thought that was World War Two.
This is
No.
pre-Nazi.
No, it was. They weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't Nazis.
They weren't Nazis. I was just
No.
making fun of the reference with
Yes.
Indiana
Indiana
Jesus.
Jones.
Oh, how many?
Speaking
how
of
many
Indiana
countries were
Jesus.
in this war? A lot of countries.
It was a world war.
Yeah.
So
So,
everybody.
World War One was like
So everybody.
yes,
I mean, not everybody, but a lot of countries.
Alasa.
Okay.
A lot of countries.
Half the
World War
country.
One, the Ottoman Empire was fighting with Germany and the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Okay.
Their main duke got assassinated.
Franz Ferdinand.
And pretty much it was like France and Great Britain.
And Germany.
U.S. I can't.
We were there.
I think we were.
Got our fingers in
But
everything.
I'm not
there.
exactly sure.
We came to France. We fought on D-Day.
No, but that's World War.
That's
II.
World War
Oh,
Two.
that is World War II.
Yeah.
Didn't we go to
I
France
don't-
though? Didn't we fight on a beach? Isn't that World War One?
No, yeah,
That's
World-
Vietnam, homie.
World War II.
No, you guys are all
That's
on
Hiroshima.
different wars.
World War
That's
II.
Pearl Harbor.
It's trench warfare. Trench warfare is
Yeah,
World War
dude,
One.
they didn't get far.
Right.
I didn't
Mustard
pass
gas.
history.
Wonder
Actually,
Woman.
I did.
Y'all remember?
But anyways,
Oh,
those
Wonder
are the
Woman's
countries.
World War One.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it
okay.
now. The gas. They had the gas.
You guys, I'm really sorry that I didn't pay attention in history. But
Anywho.
anyways, it looks like the Germans are interested in this arrowhead.
Correct. They want it for nefarious reasons, I guess, as opposed
German
to
people.
as opposed to just like finding cures for diseases. and
Right.
Seriously,
such.
can you have an archaeology movie when your arch rivals are not German? Like, come on, peeps. Come on.
Not if it's in
No.
that time period.
We gonna dig faster than y'all, okay?
Germany's got their
Can't be
fingers
a
and
pirate
everything
movie
too.
unless you're blaming the Spaniards, right?
It's true.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Yeah, that sounds about right. And the Caribbeans.
So, Lily, after she has stolen the arrowhead, she goes to Paul Giamatti's office to book a cruise so that she can get to where the arrowhead is supposed to go. And Paul Giamatti is not in there, but The Rock is. So Frank,
Because he's trying to steal his engine.
yes, Frank pretends to be Nilo, is Paul Giamatti's
Yeah,
character.
Nilo.
Pretends to be
Nilo?
Nilo, yeah.
Like with an N.
N-I-L-O.
Mr. Nilo.
Oh, Nilo.
Nilo.
N-I-L-O.
Yeah. And he
Yeah,
pretends.
you're right. I saw that on the screen.
Mr. Nilo.
Pretends to be him. He pretends to have this fleet of boats. He says that he'll pilot the boat himself because she deserves the best. And she lowballs him with like $5,000 or whatever. And then he bumps it up to 10. And then I think he says he'll do it for $12,000 or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then she goes downstairs to have a drink with them. They're about to shake hands, and then her brother walks in with the real Nilo, and he's like, "Look, I found the guy, and he's gonna give us a boat for only $50,000." And so Frank has to convince Lily to rehire him, and he does so by saying he'll do it for only $12,000, and he fought off a jaguar that had come into the club and started attacking.
I was
people.
really freaking confused when this happened. I was like, this is unrealistic. Like,
Was that a jaguar or a tiger?
it was a jaguar.
It was a jaguar.
I was
Oh.
like, he's fighting.
Spots.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
He's fighting a jaguar. Like, this is so unrealistic.
Oh, I'm getting
I-
jaguars and panthers
I
confused.
get that he's The Rock or whatever, but like, he's literally fighting a jaguar.
But hold on though. I got a sense that with that necklace, immediately once it made its way to the river, the jungle was fighting back. So that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what
The
Luis
jaguar
kept
was
saying.
coming.
He's
Because
like,
then also too, wasn't the little scorpion thing also like?
The scorpion and the spider that was fighting.
That was
like,
disgusting.
It almost seemed like they just shifted their attention to the amulet and like they
Oh.
the arrowhead.
it kind of reminds me of like
He literally said,
Jumanji 2.
Yeah.
it
you know?
it literally he said it right before the jaguar came out. He was like, it's gonna start fighting back. I'm like, what are you talking about? The jungle's about to start fighting
said
back.
that, huh?
Yeah. And I was like, what? And then here comes a jaguar. I'm like, Luis, what the
Interesting.
heck?
Interesting.
I did,
Okay.
I did think that too, what you guys are saying, but I'm happy it didn't go that way because I didn't want him just to be fighting creatures the whole time.
Right.
So I was like, oh, this is what we're doing where he's going to fight a jaguar, then he's going to fight a fake hippo, and then he's going to fight a whatever.
He's gonna fight the
like,
piranhas.
I don't like this. So I was very, very happy when it ended up being Proxima, his pet cat. I was like,
not
thank
expecting that.
I wasn't
goodness.
expecting that at all either.
And then
It's
I was
very
okay
cute,
with
though.
it. I was like, oh, it's his pet.
They do a good job of. There's a couple of twists in this movie that
It was
all
cute.
come up
was not
fairly
expecting that
fairly
at all.
surprising.
Our kids were so happy with Proxima. Both kids, Proxima.
So that's a really cute name for a cat.
Heck yeah.
Proxima.
It's a cool name.
So cute.
You get
Proxima the cat.
Proxima, right?
Well,
We'll get there, but you understood why it was Proxima. Okay.
I was just thinking of the villain in Avengers Infinity War, Proxima Midnight. She was the one with the big old blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So because he saves the whole club from this vicious jaguar that had interrupted, Lily decides to go with Frank. She hires him, and she and her brother attempt to get on
For
his
12
boat.
grand. And isn't 12 grand back there like crazy?
Well, it's 12,000 real because they are in Brazil.
but that's
so
still
I don't
probably
know
a lot of money.
I don't know what the American U.S.
Well, at that time,
Yes,
huge.
Yeah.
exactly. But it sounds expensive.
I mean, I don't want to spend $12,000 doing
No,
nothing.
not to get on
No.
this boat in this dirty water. No thanks. So they get on Frank's boat. Her brother tries to load all of his luggage
Oh my gosh,
onto
I
the
thought
boat.
that was funny.
I love him.
Good. It was really good.
We could get the liquor.
Yeah.
He's like reading and golfing? No? Okay.
my
He had
tennis
his golf
paddles.
clubs there, like
Yeah. So he's trying to load all this stuff onto the boat.
His dinner
The
jackets.
Rock is just throwing everything into the water. All the villagers around are just coming and grabbing all of the stuff too.
So
In the
good.
background is funny. So they get on the boat, and as they're about to take off, a submarine comes along the river.
Well, hold on.
No, Lily gets stole first.
Yeah, she gets like
that's
picked
right.
up by some of the villagers who obviously were hired to get her.
Right.
But it is from the guy in the submarine, Air Joaquin.
Prince Joachim.
Joaquin. Jacqueline.
Joaquin Valley. Yes,
So
so
they-
they trap her in a cage, and it's so funny the way they do it because throughout this movie, so far, when she's in the village, the monkeys are in cages and the birds are in cages, and she's totally like
hates
me,
it.
where she's like, oh, they're in a
They shouldn't
those
be in
things
cages.
shouldn't be in cages, and she gets mad, and
Free
her
them.
brother's like, leave them alone, whatever. So she sees a giant cage full of birds, and she asks them, what are you going to do with all those birds? And they're like, yeah, we're going to stuff them and sell them. And so, of course, she goes after them, and then they trap her in the cage.
trap her in
It
the
was
cage.
kind of like the perfect, like, bait.
They take her ashore. They take her away.
Yeah.
You're right. I forgot about this scene.
She escapes from the cage.
Right.
And then she's, like, freeing all the birds and the monkeys and all the animals.
And then she starts fighting these dudes.
Yeah, she starts straight up fighting these dudes.
She fights the dudes.
She's a fighter.
She is a fighter.
She's got some spice in her.
She's quite good. She's beating these dudes up, and then The Rock comes in. He comes to rescue her, and she punches him in the face. She's like, "Oh, sorry."
apparently she has a good arm, a good
Yeah, good form. Good
swing,
form.
too.
They beat these dudes up. They run, and The Rock jumps into the water. He's like, "Come on, we gotta swim to the boat." And she's like, "I I no swim. No thanks.
Like, of all things she doesn't do.
Yeah, and she's been extremely adventurous. She was hanging out on a ladder 20 minutes ago or whatever. You know, she's nuts.
She's out there doing it, but she ain't swimming.
She's like
She's
zip
not
lining
swimming.
with things, and I'm like, you can't get in the water.
So she climbs up to the top of a building and gets on a zip line. The dudes are shooting at her, pew, 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 and she zip lines her way onto the boat, and they take off. And then the submarine starts to chase them.
Hold on,
right?
Dom. She didn't zipline her way onto the boat. She missed the boat. Got into the market again.
Because something hits her in the face. It's like clothes on the
It's
zip
like
line.
clothesline, yeah.
And then what?
Heck
I
of
think what
funny.
ends up happening, doesn't he just throw her in or on the other side of the bay? Or
Yeah, I think he jumps off. He spins the boat around by tying it to the.
That's
to the
neat.
was that later? I can't remember.
Okay, anyways, the submarine comes. I don't know how they got a submarine to the Amazon.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be too difficult. It connects to the ocean.
Take it in from the ocean.
Are those
and-
rivers that deep?
Sometimes they're that wide.
Yeah. Big enough.
And I would assume just deep enough, yeah.
Yo, submarines are so scary. I would never get in one.
Oh, heck no, man.
When it started, I think later something happens to the submarine and it starts like blaring with the red, and it's like, oh, God, and I'm like,
Absolutely not.
thanks.
That's why I don't go on Finding Nemo submarine voyage at Disneyland either.
it's just the same. It's exactly the
Same
same.
thing.
So the submarine starts chasing them. It starts firing
It's the
torpedoes.
Germans.
It's the Germans. It's this crazy dude. He's got his mustache. He gets on a minigun. It's like, and
I freaking love that character. It's so funny.
It's quite hilarious.
he's really funny. And so he's shooting at them. They're chasing them. This is when The Rock gets off the boat, spins it around with a rope, and twists it around a corner.
It's
and,
way too much.
And like catches the submarine behind it. And so the submarine shoots.
Pretty much parasailing at that point.
Exactly. The submarine shoots a torpedo at them.
He's doing some Maui stuff, right? Isn't that what he did?
They dodge a torpedo with a boat, with a steamboat. It doesn't make any sense, but he hops over a thing and the torpedo goes under and blows up a building. He drifts.
good fun.
He drifts out the way. It's cool.
He had that experience from Fast and Furious.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's very Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
Or maybe he became Fast and the Furious after Fast and the Furious Jungle Cruise.
So they get away from the submarine for now, and they make their way through the rivers and stuff like that. Lily has a map, and she's like, "This is the map that was with the he was the cartographer who hang out with the conquistador who came here and got cursed or whatever." And so we got to follow this map. This is the one that knows where the arrowhead goes.
So stop for right here. At this point in the movie, I was feeling, and I think Michelle said this early on, strong Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, right?
Totally.
But I was also feeling strong Indiana Jones vibes.
Yeah.
And
I said both things.
which
Same
I
thing
really
as you.
appreciate because I love both, especially
Good
in the
movies.
early years, right? But it was weird because I kept thinking they were going to bring in some Indiana Jones thematic things from the ride because the rides are right next to each other in Disneyland. And so, like, I guess especially later on in the plot when they go to, like, open up where the tree is,
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, like, is it going to be like the Temple of Mara or like
Right.
what is it going to
I
be?
agree with you.
But I like this is where it
Oh,
started.
that was the bad one, huh? I'm sorry. The bad
Yeah,
one.
uh-huh.
Okay.
So anywho, I just started feeling kind of at this point like, ooh, maybe it's gonna go that way. But either way, I liked the feeling of it on the river. It didn't feel like contrite or
So,
anything.
Right.
and this is where we start thinking about Frank's character more. Because as soon as she shows him the map, he's like, where'd you get that map? Mm-hmm. Like, suspicious about it, right? And he's like, nobody can go in my quarters. So I'm like, okay, what's his deal? Like, I'm already starting to think, what's his deal? But I'm like, I don't really quite know what
Right.
his deal is yet.
He's noticed the arrowhead hanging around her neck.
He looks at it a lot.
He looks at it all the time. He's talking to his cat. He's like, hey, what she got on her neck? What's going on over there? And
And he's hiding the cat under his boat.
yes.
Dude, the cat is constantly going around McGregor, and McGregor's like, oh,
This beast away from me.
Dude, it's so
You guys
freaking
call
funny though.
it
It
a
has like cat doors. It has like doggy doors throughout the boat.
doggy doors.
It's
That was
freaking
pretty cool.
hilarious.
It's his pet kitty for sure. You know.
Just what he calls it. Oh, it's a good murder cat.
So
I am going to pet you now, and you are not going to murder me.
and so while they're getting to know each other, the German guy, he takes like an alternate route, or they get lost or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but they make their way to a cave, and they find the desecrated bodies of the old conquistador.
Oh my gosh.
Aguirre.
Which is from the myth, yeah.
Right, from the
so
myth, from the
Aguirre
legend.
was trying to get the arrow from the people,
Mm-hmm.
the indigenous people that live in the Amazon. I don't remember what they call their tribe.
Right.
And they cursed him because he was trying to take the arrowhead,
Yes.
like steal it from them. So him and his men are cursed. So there's like 4 of them or something that are
Yes.
cursed, and they're trapped down there. And their curses are pretty cool.
The curses are crazy. So
Yeah.
Joaquin, he breaks apart a barrier and releases water into this area where these bodies are, and the bodies come back
River
to
water.
life because they interact with the river, and they're cursed.
They're tied to the river.
To be tied
So
to
I
the
have a
river.
question for you. At this point, like at the beginning of this scene interaction, did you understand all of that, or did you have to watch
Yeah.
it and then understand it?
I think
I understood it because they said in the
intro
that they were tied to the river.
Okay, so maybe I just missed it because the
I think-
kids were talking
I think
during
I
that
had
point.
missed that part too.
Because he gets down there and he's like, "I have what you're looking for," and
Right.
then he like
He
sprinkles
pulls
the
out
river.
a dropper.
I was mad that he put it on his knee. I was
Drips
like,
it
you
on
didn't
his
put it in
knee.
his mouth. You put
Well,
it
yeah,
on
like
his
he
knee.
dropped it on them, and I'm like, Louise, what is he doing?
That's
like,
what's happening right now.
So
so then at that point, I was like, okay. And then they're like, break the dam. I'm like, what the breaking the dam? What's it gonna do? And then I got it. But I guess up until that point, I was like,
you had to really listen to the intro.
okay.
yeah,
Because
I don't think I
it
was
makes
paying
more
too
sense
much-
now,
too close
especially
attention.
after like a couple of the last scenes and
Sure.
stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But it was weird that he had it in a freaking dropper.
Yeah, so these guys come to life, right? And they are each cursed individually with aspects of the river. All right, we got B-Boy, okay? He is full of honey. There's Mud Man. He's a man made of mud. Okay, there's Tree Dude. He's Groot but grosser. And then
Way grosser.
there's Aguirre, who is
Medusa.
he's just a man made of snakes. That's it. He's barely any skin, and it's so weird.
That
All of
one
them.
was rough.
But you know what? I will say that
was cool.
it could have been done way worse. I thought it was done very, very well.
I liked it.
And it didn't look too CGI, but it also didn't look too fake because I feel like there's a weird like middle
'Cause
ground
some of
there.
the stuff in Pirates is like
Yeah.
freaky.
Yeah, they reminded me of some of like Davy Jones' men.
Yeah.
You know, those guys who got all the fish going around in his belly or whatever.
And it wasn't anything like too weird. I was like, okay, bees, snakes, some
The
mud.
honey guy is so funny. He's walking around. He's like licking his fingers. I'm delicious, you guys.
At least you can eat.
Yeah. So yeah, these guys are
The mud guy's disgusting.
Yeah, the mud guy is really gross, and he's just like dripping all the time and separating apart. It's weird. So
Yeah, that dude's weird.
they team up with Joaquin because they're all after the same thing, the arrowhead. If the cursed guys can get the arrowhead, then they can uncurse themselves, basically. And
So Joaquin is like, hey, go get the arrowhead for me,
Yes.
basically. So at this point, on the Jungle Cruise, there's 2 routes that they can go, right? They can go the day that's going to take 2 days longer, or they can take the route that's going to be 2 days sooner.
Shortcut.
And Mr. Frank is like, there's rapids that way.
So we can't go
and
that
she is like, I do not care. So they go through the rapids, and I was like, wouldn't that
Mr.
be so
Frank.
cool if on the Jungle Cruise it gets like a little rough for a second or something? Like, that'd be so cool. It's literally like a rapid ride.
Yeah.
And this part is crazy.
But it
'cause,
was terrifying.
so he's like, okay, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna go the way you say we're gonna go, and then you're gonna tell me to turn back. All right, so let's go.
yeah, he kept saying turn back. I was like, how do you turn back
Well,
up the river?
I
I,
mean,
don't
That's
get
what
it.
I said. I'm like, I don't know how in
He
the world.
eventually
you
did, and so this is where my
We were
suspension
both
of
like, he
disbelief
can't go back up
is.
the river.
Yeah, with his stolen engine or whatever.
I wonder if he knew that. Yeah, the rapids are here and there's a waterfall, but all right, like 20 feet over that way, it's like
He
it's
must-
fine.
I think
He
he,
must
did
have
know
known.
because he said he took that way before, but him and that girl were
Ah.
arguing. He wasn't freaking paying
Yeah.
attention, and he almost went
That's
over the
why.
waterfall.
That's why they got
Yeah.
that far down, or else I think they would have
Yeah.
been all right.
Yeah.
He was
No,
showing
because
off.
she was like, me,
He's like, I'm gonna show
They
you.
were like
Let's go
arguing
this way.
with their little chemistry,
Let's go
whatever.
this way. Right. They were having their
Banter.
Pants and Skippy tiffs. You know? Whatever, Pants. Stop it, Skippy. And he's
That was
Don't
very
call me
funny.
Skippy, I'm a skipper. And so yeah.
Also, he
they're
tells
heading-
while they're in the rapids, he tells his cat to go get the arrowhead.
Right.
He was like, "Go get it," to Bagheera or whatever her name is, Proxima. And in the
Louise is
fight, the freaking
Bagheera.
bottle of wine falls over, and the cat just ends up getting drunk.
Yeah,
That was very funny.
the
Hilarious.
Jaguar getting jacked up.
Crunk.
He was like,
He went right for it.
threw. Everybody was throwing up at one point. So yeah, the boat is going towards this waterfall. And everybody's freaking out except for Frank. And he's like, do you want me to turn back? She's like, yes, turn back. This is crazy. And then he just whips the boat around, puts some extra power into it, and they just drive away from the waterfall.
Again, he does some Maui stuff.
That was insane.
It was nuts.
That boat is the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, this boat is
There
the
was
most
like
powerful
there's
thing on
like a
Earth.
lot of things that give me anxiety, like when we were watching the Togo movie, and that was the moment for this movie. I was like, well, they're gonna go over the waterfall, and
This
they
cruise
won't
is over.
die.
This
The
boat is
boat's
about to be
gone.
destroyed.
You know, I was like trying to predict it, and I was like, wait, what the heck? He's
Yeah.
going back up the river like a salmon? I don't understand.
Like a salmon. So just like a salmon, he swims up and turns around into the safe side of the river.
And then they immediately get captured.
Right. They get captured.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
They got darted.
So these dudes get up on the boat. They start darting everybody,
Thank you.
hitting people in the neck, and
They pass out.
they pass out. They
Which,
wake
pause
up.
again, did
Yeah,
you have an
right.
idea here?
No, I had no idea.
No, I knew he was saying that there was like a tribe or something. He was like, we don't want to go that way. And I think he was like, dang it.
But see,
like, we
in-
couldn't catch a break.
In the
Did you?
beginning,
Yeah,
of the movie,
I was like, well, this is
got it.
part of his ruse.
I didn't think
Oh
that.
yeah,
I
because
didn't think so.
I didn't
either.
think so.
because there were people at the beginning
In the
that he
beginning
was
of the
messing
movie,
with.
he has people who are on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he
I
does.
just thought those were like maybe some of the colonizers that he knew.
Right,
in
and
the-
he
in the
and he
city.
and there were only like 6 of them or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they come and they're like, "Hey, we're scary, get out of here, boo white people, boo!" And
white people, boo.
and so the white people get scared or whatever, and then they like wave goodbye, and then he pays
No,
them all
I
afterwards,
definitely
right?
was like as this was changing, I was like, okay, they're blow darting them, but it's part of his
the ruse.
thing, and this is gonna be Trader Sam, who's a girl. Like I had it all.
Okay, so you
I
had it
literally
down.
would never forgive him if he blow darted me as a joke. Like, you freaking tranked me, homie. Like,
Hey.
we are not friends anymore.
I legit-
This is not funny.
I
Cool,
legit.
bro.
thought
Well, he
we
is
were-
lying to
this
her
was
at
the
every
tribe
corner.
that had the flowers.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
thought,
who
too.
I thought
Right.
it was.
That's who I thought it was, too. And I was like, this is not... Like, after we found out it was a ruse, I was not okay. I was like, F this dude. He sucks.
It was so funny because it took me
Not funny.
a longer than a minute to get that it was a ruse, right? So they wake up, they're tied up.
It's very,
it's very-
once again, pirates,
It's
right?
very theatrical.
Like,
Yeah,
when they
it
get
felt like the
captured.
one where he was
Pirates
on the.
2, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Pirates 2.
The chief, the leader, comes out on like a swivel chair and it swoops up.
It was also Star Wars.
and they start.
I was like,
speaking,
are we Ewoks on the...
right. It was like Star Wars. They start speaking in a different language, right? And then there's no subtitles. There's no subtitles.
I don't even know what
And
the
then
language sounded
and then he says to Lily, like, "Hey, they're asking for the arrowhead. They say if they get the arrowhead, then they'll leave us alive or whatever." He's like, take me, let them go. We'll give you whatever you want. Just give them
that
the
when they
arrowhead.
thought it was weird?
And so here when he starts talking back to them, and he's like, she's freaking out about the arrowhead. I was like, oh my god, he got me, dude. He got me so
I still
bad.
didn't know at that
I
point.
only knew as soon as the
He got me good. He got me.
Yeah,
He got me with the freaking leopard too.
When
Yeah, he's a good ruser.
Yeah, that one I was. Oh, this dude's fighting the jungle. But when the girl came around, the Trader Sam and was like, takes off her mask. That's when I was like, oh, this guy got me.
Right.
Only when she said something like "stop it," that I was like,
She's like, "This
"Oh
is too
my
much,"
god,
or
it's a
whatever.
ruse." Like I wouldn't have got it, and like I know that Lily was mad at him, but I would have been way more mad. I would have kicked him in the nuts. I would have been like,
The
"What
nuts.
are you doing right now?" Yeah, he drank me. Absolutely
In
not.
his eternal.
Made me think I was gonna get eat by cannibals.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, he really made him think.
That is so rude.
It's like the
We're gonna
original
turn into
Punk'd.
soup or
And I
whatever.
like that the
Yeah.
brother's kind of more forgiving. He's like, well,
It's
oh, because
fine.
they had
Makes
already
sense.
had their little conversation bonding moment, I think, before this.
That's right. A big moment in a Disney movie, right?
Yeah.
So at one point, McGregor
Yeah.
pulls
It was nice.
pulls
Was
Frank
this,
aside. I think it is after this because I think he had already got red faced or whatever. At one
No, I
point,
thought it was before he got red faced.
I'm not sure.
That was
You know
hecka
what?
funny though.
I'm a bit curious too.
I think it was before.
Might have been before because like.
It was like
McGregor
before
doesn't
they
come
even
with
got
them
trained.
After this whole
Yeah.
encounter, McGregor stays in the background.
Yeah, and then he gets.
So it was
captured.
before.
It was
yeah.
when they were on the river, I think.
Yeah, they were
Still
on the
together.
river.
So they're on
like
the
after
river.
it was like after the rapids, after they were like kind of more
Sure.
bonded.
So
Yeah.
McGregor pulls Frank aside, and he's talking to him, and he's like,
"Is Lily always freaking like this?"
like,
And
"Yeah."
she's like, "Yeah."
she's always been like that, but she's always been really nice to me and protective of me. And in fact,
Who's older?
I think
She's older.
I would say
older.
she is.
Yeah. And he said at one point, my whole family, they disowned me because I didn't want to get married to any of these women that they were in front of me. Because women, not my thing. Dude, okay,
He basically is like, "I was into
I was
other
into
things."
other things elsewhere. And Frank was like, elsewhere? Elsewhere.
And I thought it was
Cheers
a little
elsewhere.
interesting that Frank didn't think much because we're thinking of the time, like
Yeah.
1916. I was like, oh, he didn't really say anything. Okay,
But-
like he moved on from it. I thought he was gonna be like, what?
Right.
But no.
But he's a wise man.
Dude, I was
Yeah, well, we
surprised
didn't know that at
because-
the time.
Right.
But
Because he's, also old school Spanish, so you know how.
That's true.
well, that's why I was a
You
little
know how
surprised.
those, what do you call that era? The Inquisitioners
Yeah.
were, like.
And no
jeez.
one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
You're a
It comes
woman
out
who
of
knows
nowhere.
math. You're a witch back
He was
then,
so
man.
stuck on the pants thing that I thought that thing was gonna freak him out, and I was confused why the pants thing freaked him out and not the other thing.
No, it
but it
doesn't
was
freak him out
really
at all.
nice. I think this was like one of the more first openly gay.
I mean, it very much was similar to the scene in Loki, right? The TV series, which
Yeah.
we haven't listened to our episode, but I mean, it's
On his bi,
basically
yeah.
similar kind of phrasing, even like I'm a prince or a princess, a bit of both. Elsewhere. It's kind of the same. It's almost
Yeah.
the same exact
But I
conversation.
liked it. It was nice.
But yeah, it's good, and it's good to see, and it
Honestly,
confirms
I
something
kinda-
that I was definitely thinking before
I
that scene.
I kind of thought it was obvious when he came with his freaking dinner coats and everything under the sun.
She's like, I
Oh,
just
yeah,
got one
for
bag,
sure.
and it's like that. All that stuff for my brothers.
Even
So good.
even a British fancy man, just,
Right.
That doesn't take that much stuff.
No,
Exactly.
they do take a lot of stuff, but he was real fancy.
Exactly. So his family had disowned him, but Lily stayed by his side, and that's why they're so close and hang out all the time. And,
They basically live together.
Yes, exactly.
I got the impression that he was older.
No, she's older.
I think she's older. I'm pretty.
I
sure
remember
she's
they
like
said
big
something
sister.
during the movie.
But I'm not exactly sure. So all of that happens. They get captured. They get fake captured. Once the ruse is over, and Lily does not give up the arrowhead.
He's
they
drinking
start-
fermented spit.
Right.
Nasty.
Yeah. Masata, I think is what they called it, or something like that. It was fermented spit. And he's like,
Well,
well,
I mean,
it's already
yeah.
And the tattooing.
It tastes good.
The tattooing.
They're like, hey, can we put this warrior paint on your face? And he's like, yeah, oh, that's so cool, warrior paint.
Yeah, McGregor's like about it.
It's so cool. And they wipe it on his face, kind of haphazardly. It's just not really in any kind of rigid motion like all of theirs are. They got them all around their eyes and stuff.
Didn't you only get like one eye?
Yeah, it's like all
Half of his face.
does
just
not
like
look
wipe his
great.
forehead a little bit.
Good for him though.
Like he's like, this is cool. How long does it take to come off? He's like, probably a couple weeks. It's tattoo ink.
I think he said a couple years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, but and this is what I thought to myself. Like, I know it's kind of off topic, but like on the case of anthropology, I'm like, dude, what do they mix in that thing if it's gonna last for years?
I know.
And it's
Yeah.
just pretty much just casually rubbed on your face, and all of a sudden this thing is there for 5 years.
That's
what
what
is
you look
in
like
it?
now,
I
dude.
know.
That's
You
the
gotta
new
get
look.
a needle to get that stuff stuck for life. What you do to just
It's
put
an
it on your face?
Amazon.
Yeah, they just wiped it on.
Dangerous.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ultra henna.
Be
you know?
going to that
Ultra
rubber,
henna.
those trees with rubber.
So Lily is really mad at him, and he's trying to make up with her, and he's like, and she is talking to Trader Sam, which is so cool. I love that. So Trader Sam's like the chief of this
She
tribe.
reminds me of,
The ragtag group of actors.
Yeah, basically.
The Actors Guild of the Amazon.
Lily is talking to her, and they're like talking about the Amazon, and she basically trades her hat for her to read the runes on the
arrowhead,
stone.
yes.
On the arrowhead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Trader Sam can read the language that's on the arrowhead, so she picks it up. She's looking all around at it, and she gives a whole bunch of clues
As to where to go.
as to where to go.
And in my head, I was like, she just making this
I
up.
thought she
that's what I
was too,
thought,
because
too.
the things she was saying are making no sense.
Especially because
I
she
was
was wearing that hat.
Yeah.
She's
I
got
was
on one of
like, I don't
McGregor's
understand.
top hats. It's white.
like, yeah.
was
So
silly.
that was crazy.
Very
but
funny.
she
She reminded me
says
of Facilier
something.
at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. She says something that makes Lily and Frank both know where it is.
Right.
And they see it on the map. And she's like,
They know
I'm
it is
going to
on
get
the
a
map.
canoe and go by myself without you. You're dead to
Forget
me.
you.
Goodbye. But
man.
then Frank sees a little slithery snake coming up the tree.
It's a snake.
Snake.
It's a slithery
A
snake.
slithery snake.
Yeah. So Snake comes and all his
Not
snake
snake.
homies.
Snake.
I said
snake?
snake.
I thought you said snake.
Thank you.
The snake comes. I was like,
Oh no!
The one snake
Too
comes.
soon.
Had,
Several other snakes follow. Some bees are there.
honeycombs. You had a Nutella.
The
and
mud.
Then gummy
I think
worms
the-
all over the place.
I think the
Nutella.
mud straight up like snatched somebody out of the sky. I was like, whoa.
So the cursed dudes start attacking. Right? They're here and
Natty.
they're
Was
gross.
it 3 or 4?
There are 4 of them.
4.
Because there's Aguirre, the snakes, Mudman, Honey Boy, and
Honey boy.
Tree Dude.
Tree dude.
That
Yeah.
was a tree dude. I
Yeah,
forgot.
I would have liked one to be all birds or something.
And it's so
That'd
That'd
be
be
just
cool.
pooping on
That'd be
everybody.
cool.
no,
all
like
feathers,
attacking
like,
with beaks,
Yeah.
dropping
That gives
worms
you the
on
vulture.
people.
They're all parrots. Frank owes you money. Frank owes you money.
I
So
was thinking
they're-
more like Brazilian birds,
Oh,
but okay,
sure.
weirdos.
Dang.
That
Well,
person is
anyways, these curses are killing a lot of people in this tribe.
Get out of here.
They're killing a lot of people, yes.
I
Michelle,
can't
don't-
with the denial thing. I was rolling my eyes.
What?
I was all,
What denial?
She was
the
rolling
joke
her.
you said. Didn't
I
you say
said-
in denial, like
No, I
denial
said,
river?
I said Frank owes me money in Portuguese.
Oh, I thought he said something about being in denial.
Oh no,
Like denial
wrong
river.
You
country.
heard a completely different bad joke.
I did.
Or my impression in Portuguese, because I don't know it. But, well,
So they're getting attacked by these mud monsters or whatever.
Funky.
And I remember seeing in the trailers like the man made of
I think
snakes.
only the snake dude.
I
Yeah.
didn't see any of those in the trailer.
The
But-
snake dude was in the trailer.
I think I was under the impression that they were all like one being or something like that.
I thought
'Cause-
maybe someone was controlling them.
yeah, or something.
Mysterio.
Because I saw the dude like moving as a tree or whatever, and he's like his face moves from one branch to another branch or whatever. It was weirdness. But they're cool as they fight. Lily and Frank have to escape. They try swinging on a rope across a bridge, and they get stuck at the other end. And they're like, he can't get his foot onto the onto
That was
the bridge.
pretty funny.
So they swing back, and then they're just stuck here. They got to go a different way.
And she's still mad at him. She's
Yes.
like, ugh.
Yeah, she's like, stop helping me. They fight their way out of this by I don't remember how they get out of this.
Well, he
Back to the
apparently.
boat.
I only remember the next part is
Oh,
he
that's
apparently
right.
dies.
He falls.
He
Yes.
falls like
so
hardcore.
he
yeah. I
basically
legit thought he
saves her.
was
He
done.
tells them to like go on and get like
Right.
Old Yeller.
Get out
Y'all
here.
think
Get out
he
of
was
here.
done?
I thought he was done.
I thought he was done.
I thought he was done, and they were going to use the tree
Yeah.
To bring him
petals
back
to bring
later.
him out.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So he got stabbed in the chest and then fell down. And usually when they fall down,
Down.
they hit the water. But in this one, they made him hit the dirt and then flop into the water. And
He
I
hit
was
like 7
this
tree
is a
branches.
children's
He did.
movie.
Then hit the dirt, then hit the water.
Yeah.
Still ended
The
up
Rock
getting
is
up
dead.
like
Andre and I was
that.
trying not to laugh. Andre and I looked at each other. We were like, he did. I was like, okay.
Well, I
I
mean-
just thought he was gonna splash in the water or something. It was the fact that he hit the dirt and then splashed into the
Oh,
water.
sure.
Where I was like, oh no, children are watching
Yeah.
this.
Well, I think the hard thing too is that based on like how I guess I have to, especially when it's Disney movies, I suspend my disbelief in the deaths
For sure.
because of like the time. It wasn't far enough through the movie for him to be dead.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, well, he has to come back some way, and there's
Yeah.
all these magical creatures.
Yeah,
so something's
but
gonna
I
happen.
thought they were gonna use the pedal to bring
Right.
it back later. Like she was like, I really got to get the pedal now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Like him or whatever.
They're gonna speed it
So
up.
no, he is dead. The curses are
He for sure dead.
chasing Lily, and Trader Sam helps her escape. She's like, you have to get far enough away from the river.
Right, they're
Because
tied
the
to the
curses
river.
are tied to the river. They have to be around the water. And if they can't see the water anymore, then it pulls them back.
Right.
So they're eternally stuck.
So
at
she
the
runs
river.
away. She
That's-
has the arrowhead. They're
It's pretty awesome.
right after her, and then they all just get clawed back by vines.
So she's
Into
safe
the
over there. Trader
Wait.
Sam freaking pops out of nowhere. She's like, hello.
I all noticed that it was a Metallica song, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty
yeah.
cool. I like that.
That's
I know
right.
we're kind of like,
It
halfway
was a
through
good
it.
scene.
But I
It
thought
was a good
the
scene.
music was, the intro music was pretty good for that.
It was. I
No,
agree.
but they replay it later, or maybe it was during this part.
And
I don't
think
know.
Ems, didn't you say that actual Metallica? Like,
Yeah,
did
they
it for
redid
this?
it for this movie.
Oh, that's cool.
That was. I just thought it was like some other composers like say,
It's still kicking.
Here's money, Metallica. Let's
I think
let's
I
redo
told
your
Andre, I was
song."
like, "Dan, there's a rock song in this scene." I didn't realize it was Metallica. But
No, they they re-recorded it for
That's
the movie.
pretty cool.
That is cool.
I like that.
The rest of the score was done by James Newton Howard.
Yeah, because most of the times, you know, like some artists would just say, "Nah, just redo it. Give me money and you could redo it."
Right, yeah.
You know.
We'll write it specifically for
Exactly.
this.
They probably love The Rock. Let's be real.
Yeah, who doesn't? Yes.
He gave them the people's elbow and they did
I
it.
feel like when you're The Rock, like you just gotta be like, "Hey, yo, I'm The Rock.
You want me to see me
You
do
want to
the
be in one
eyebrow?
of my
Or?
movies?" Sure.
So she gets away. Does she meet back up with McGregor?
She's
this
like
point?
yelling for them, and then they meet up. So it's Trader Sam and McGregor, and they're there. And in the distance, she sees this bush like moving, and she's like, "Frank!" And they go over there, and she takes it off of him, and it's Frank, right? And then Frank stands up, and he has like the whole sword in him. And Trader Sam is like, "I'm not pulling that out of you again," right? And
like
I
how
was like,
it's
"What's
again.
going on?" I was so confused.
No, because they were looking at each other, so like they're like anticipating, like, and then she's like, "I'm not doing that again."
Yeah, so then she's like, "What are you? You're not bleeding. Like, are you a ghost? Are you a thing?" And
thing?
I don't think, does he tell her
Hold
after
on.
the sword comes out?
Hold on, before that, I think the Spanish peeps were like saying Francisco has.
And
friends,
I thought that
yeah,
was
la
weird
medalla.
too.
And I was
like, why are they talking about Frank like
was like,
that?
who is
Francisco
Francisco?
and Frank, I put it together, but I didn't know how they knew each other quite yet. Like, I was like, okay, a twist is coming. But I
Right.
really liked the twist. It
I just
kept
assumed
me-
that he
it
had come
kept
upon them in
me
the jungle at some point
Intrigued.
before then.
Did you see it coming, Emily?
No.
I didn't.
Well, I wouldn't say I did either. We're obviously not surprised, but what I kind of thought it was, I was like, okay, curse, old people tied to something. Man, this is how, like, you know, when Jack did the whole Black Flag pirate ship stuff, and he was cursed.
Curse
too,
of the Black
like,
Pearl.
You know.
It was Pirates Back.
Black
Yeah.
flag
Yeah.
pirate curse stuff.
Man, these
And I was
curses
like,
on these rides.
Man, it's him.
It's crazy.
So they explain what happened back then, which is
Right.
very interesting to me.
They do the whole
So,
backstory.
Frank, his name was Francisco, and this was in the 1500s.
Yes, I believe so. 400 years.
So it was like
398.
about 300 before that.
Yeah.
So about 16, yeah?
Yeah,
16, something like that.
Something
okay.
like that.
So he was basically adopted into a family with Aguirre. Okay, and Aguirre had a daughter, and the daughter was really, really sick. So he told her he was gonna go and get this flower in the myth, and he wasn't gonna come back until he had the flower, so that he could cure her. Right, and so Frank and Aguirre are like brothers. They're super, super close, and they
homies.
go to the Amazon together, and they're going on an expedition. And the jungle is fighting back, like back then. You know, the jungle
it's a scary
is
jungle.
fighting back. A lot of the people on the expedition are dying, and they were going to die. They were
Yes.
like on their deathbed.
They've been out
and
there
then
for a long
that
time.
tribe found them that had the arrowhead and the flower, and used the flower to cure them. So basically, Aguirre betrayed the tribe and was trying to kill them for the flower.
He saw that they had the flower. He was like, all right, I just got to
Frank
murder
was
everybody
not into murdering everybody.
here. Right. He was like, hey,
So-
stop, dude. They just saved our lives.
So they just went separate ways in the way that they wanted to fight for it.
So pretty much the jungle or the people.
It's the people.
The
The
people
cast a
cursed
curse on-
everybody.
It was the one homie.
Yeah.
It was the
The
chief.
chief cursed all of them.
Which I was like, why'd you curse Frank? You just saw him like.
Saving
He didn't know that he was good. He was just like, they all betrayed
They all
me.
got to go.
and
all
they're
gotta get cursed.
running after my daughter right now to kill her, so they gotta go.
Right.
And the only reason that Frank didn't turn into a total weirdo creep is because his body wasn't stuck
to the hole.
to
He
get
trapped
like
them down there. He was like,
Right.
we've been cursed and we fight forever, and he keeps stabbing me,
Right.
and I'm tired of getting
So
stabbed.
they fight over the years, right? They
Yeah.
fight over years.
over many years.
Decades at least.
And then he figures out a way to trap them in a place that's far enough away from the river that it can't pull them back directly. And
Because he wanted some peace and quiet.
then- yeah.
But
And
it does though. Technically,
It-
it just
it
can't
works.
get him
I
in.
know.
You can't get him through freaking bedrock.
Exactly.
I know. So then he.
So that's the reason why, though, right? So
They're stuck.
their body like degenerates and
Exactly.
kind of turns into
Turns
the
into
forest.
stone. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the moment that Joaquin destroys the
barrier.
damned water, it goes into there and then
Wakes
Exactly.
him
brings
back
him
up.
right back.
So it's so interesting because Lily's like, well, what did you do? And he's like, I built a town and I built a boat and I tried to find the stone and eventually I gave up.
I charted the entire river of the Amazon. I did it for
But he couldn't
years
find
and
the
years
arrow.
and years
In
and
the
years.
beginning, did they say where that expedition found the arrow? Like, where did
Deep
they?
in the Amazon.
And he couldn't find it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
And what's funny, well, he couldn't because it was gone. It was
But it
in
wasn't
England.
gone.
It was in England.
Yeah, but how did it get there?
Right, but that's what she
They don't.
said.
That was my qualm. It's like, okay, if the chief had the arrow and the arrow he died and they didn't go get it, like where
Daughter
did it?
ran off with the arrow
Oh,
because they were
so
chasing
maybe,
the daughter.
Okay,
So
well,
maybe-
where'd she go? England.
well, yeah, maybe she ran to a different country and
Okay.
moved.
I
And
needed an
had children and
explanation of
passed it
kind of how
down.
the arrow
It wound up
made
in
it
Maybe
New
she
through.
ran all the way to North America, met John Smith, and then in Pocahontas 2 went to England and dropped it off over there.
Yeah, maybe.
That's probably it.
Maybe she got on the back of Hulk and jumped a couple countries.
No, dude, but what I found
And then
closer-
just made her way
I
to.
wasn't
I'm in
budgeting
El
anyone
Salvador.
else. Like,
Virginia.
I don't understand how the arrow left the Amazon in the first place. Y'all didn't tell
What
me
I
where it
find
went.
so surprising is that like The Rock is over here getting punked by a little peasant dude, and the city he built on the back of with his hands, and he's just like letting him punk him. He's like, okay, cool.
Maybe he doesn't
mean,
care.
what you gonna do?
Enough
Yeah.
to like fight about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
think
I'm
that's
out here
funny.
just trying to give river
And over the
tours.
years, he's had many Proximas.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch of jungle cats that he has adopted.
On to the next one.
Yeah, he outlives all the
Proxima.
cats and all the people because he's undying.
So he basically tells Lily, like, if we find this flower, I'm ready to die.
I just had a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Frank, he didn't turn into a monster because he didn't get stuck. But if he had got stuck, would he just be like a pile of boulders? He'd be the Rock.
I was the only one left, homie.
Or maybe he'd be the birds. I don't know. Oh, Michelle's hardcore rolling.
We're done with you right now.
Anyway.
Oh, he would be the boulder.
So
he could be the bedrock.
Boulder man.
So that's the whole backstory, and from here.
Okay, Chris.
All right.
Sorry.
Dory.
She said bedrock.
So from here, I believe they get attacked again by Joaquin. Oh wait, no. They go to the place where the arrowhead is supposed to
They
go.
know where to go now.
Right. So they
Okay.
go to
And
this
it's
little-
not where they thought it was all this
And
time.
they have to turn water to stone.
Yes.
They was looking in the wrong spot.
Right.
They figured it out.
it was not
now
at-
they got to turn the water to the stone. That's what Trader Sam told them.
Yes.
Then told him.
Fortunately,
I like how the bees go and tell what's his name, Joaquin. In
That's
this
right,
shit.
that's
Like,
right.
It was like-
Just looking through the little, telescope thing in underwater, like bees are there. All of a sudden, like open up the latch and bees come in, just know where to go. Like what the?
it's so weird. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna send a message to Joaquin so that he knows where we're going, and he sends 4 bees. He sends 4 bees to his submarine.
I love that Joaquin's homies
And
are
Wa-
like, we're taking orders from a bee now.
Joaquin was like, let the bees in. Open the hatch. And then he's like, where are we supposed to go, bees? Where are we supposed to go? And the guys are like, what is going on? Why are
Like
we?
did the bees leave any coordinates?
We're on a submarine in the river.
Then he gets a heck of mad when they're like, when they ask like, did the bees leave any coordinates? He gets a heck of mad like, what do you mean?
That'd be stupid.
Dude,
Those are
They're
freaking,
bees.
freaking Trader Sam was cracking me up after this too. So freaking Trader Sam and McGregor are in their little canoe boat going to go somewhere. I don't know where they were going.
safety,
And the
okay.
submarine comes up and the boat's on top of it. And Trader Sam straight up jumps out the boat. She's like, no white people capture me. She's like, nope, I will not be captured. Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah.
Fair weather, Sam.
Then
man.
freaking McGregor cracks me up too because the prince from Germany is like, do you want a cup of tea? And he's like, yeah, I do want a cup of tea.
Yes.
We've been captured.
McGregor's he's
I'll
awesome.
take
awesome.
y'all's tea. Y'all.
So yeah, he captures
He's got
McGregor
tea,
and
man.
finds out that where The Rock and Emily Blunt are going. Right. So they are in this little alcove. Turns out that the place they gotta go is underwater. Guess who can't swim? Lily. And
And
she's
guess
like,
who's too big?
no.
The Rock.
Right, he's too big to fit. So they got to go down there together.
Why didn't they tell us why she couldn't swim?
She just has a fear.
Well, that's nice. Why
they
she got a
didn't-
fear?
They didn't go into it at all.
She just has a fear of water.
Yeah, but why?
She's not a mermaid because she doesn't like it. I don't know.
Okay. So she.
I mean, she could have been like, I almost drowned as a kid.
right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that would have been. That's all I needed.
I don't like sprinkles.
So she strips.
Yeah, why don't you like no sprinkles?
Nasty.
She strips down to like her underwear
Skivvies.
basically, and and he's like, "Are you wearing pants under pants?" And they get in the water. She's
good
freaking
stuff.
out.
Dude, she's hardcore freaking out.
Hardcore
and I was like,
freaking
you need
out.
to calm down. You have the Rock in the water with you. Like, he's going to fight
You're
off
safe.
a freaking hippo.
He'll never let you die.
Good.
Look at him. Look how big his arms are.
Like, you're not weighing him down. He's already weighing himself down.
That must have been a
Probably
funny
has
scene
his
for them to
weight.
fight. She's like, "Rah!" And the Rock is like, stop it.
It's just like he's going underneath the water with, a very heavy blanket on his back. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Heavy blanket.
Oh my.
Like a weighted blanket.
That's how big Emily Blunt is.
So she is flipping out, and he shows her down there where she has to go. She has to swim through this opening and pull the lever, Kronk. Okay, just pull the lever. So she swims through the opening and steps on a booby trap, and then she's trapped it in there.
closes
So
the
her
door.
and the Rock have to kiss, and he gives her air all the time. Does that legit work? Can you do that?
Yeah, I
I think so. Yeah, you can blow air into somebody's mouth.
I'm not
And they
quite
can-
sure.
I wasn't convinced.
Lips
that
are
was
not
possible.
hermetically sealed, so
True.
water would
so
get
it's
in
a little
there.
bit of water getting
That's
in
what
there.
I was thinking.
Yeah, but okay, so yes. But
Because
at the
as soon
same
as I
time-
open my lips to put the air in there, some water comes in.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you could still get air.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
I think you
I wasn't
Doesn't make
convinced
any
on
sense
that.
because when you breathe
Deposit
out,
that water in this little reservoir down here in your lip.
When you breathe out carbon dioxide. Doesn't make any sense. She would die.
I
If
agree.
he's not breathing it in and breathing it back out, that's not true.
Listen.
If he's just doing this,
yeah.
that's not, he hasn't breathed it through his lungs yet, so he's not
Yes, he
creating the
did.
carbon.
What do you think it chills in your mouth or in the back of your throat? It goes all the way into your lungs.
Not if you're not breathing it in.
See, I'm convinced that it works during
It goes
CPR.
in
Okay,
your lungs.
CPR is fine.
He's holding it in his mouth.
CPR
No, he's not.
works.
Yes, he is. It's not in his lungs. Look at his mouth.
I just open my mouth and then close it.
He looks like a chipmunk. It's in his mouth.
Because
If
you're
you
filling up
breathe
your
in-
lungs.
If you
So-
breathe in, you fill in your lungs.
I definitely filled my lungs, but there was also air in here that hadn't gone down there yet.
That's what
pretty
I'm
sure.
saying.
It's like CPR underwater, but I was just not convinced that the water wasn't going to get in her mouth.
I'm doing some research. Keep going.
Who's
Anyway.
ever done CPR underwater successfully?
I don't know.
The Rock.
Oh.
No.
Obviously, did you watch the movie?
Doesn't
So
work.
anyway, they smooch a couple of times. All right,
he liked
she
you.
needs a lot of air. She's like,
The only life she was getting was
Dude,
from
I love the first one though when he
From
tried
his lips.
to kiss her. I think she thought he was trying to kiss her. She like smacked him.
she was
She was
freaked
like,
out.
And he
Get
was
away
like,
from me.
I'm giving you some freaking air. Heck of fun.
And then she was into it the second time. She was like, come on.
Well, she was down to business.
yeah, exactly. That's what
She didn't
exactly.
wanna
what-
die.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
She pulled the lever,
She pulls the lever.
and the water starts draining.
The water drains out of this entire
And he gets
area.
attacked by piranhas and doesn't save her.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
because
that's
of the
funny.
piranhas.
The piranhas
yes.
didn't even do anything to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Those piranhas were like, a treat.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Can you recycle oxygen between two people underwater by breathing into each other's mouths? Literally that question.
Yes.
Answered by Andrew Tinker, who has his BS, MS, ADN, TCM, Biochemistry and Medicine and Healthcare.
Okay.
K,
Acronyms.
yes, for a few breaths. The air you exhale has less oxygen than the air you inhale, but you really don't need that much of it. So there's still enough oxygen in an exhaled breath to sustain life. As you exchange the breath back and forth, you'll both continue to use up that oxygen and replace it with carbon dioxide. So within a few passes and forth, the air will no longer be breathable. So the idea is that if you're just breathing back and forth, that's what he's talking about.
Then
But if
you'll
you
pass
go
out.
up, right, go up, get
Get
the air,
air.
bring it back down,
But
puff
does
it.
water not get in your mouth? Like I
It's
feel
not
like as
pure
soon as
carbon
I
dioxide.
open my mouth, the water's going in.
This guy
So-
got all
Unless
his
I'm blowing
degrees from
out,
clown
but
school.
then I'm
Listen,
blowing water
That's why they gotta
listen,
smooch.
listen. This is the principle of the pendulum rebreather used by divers. Navy divers who can't leave a trail of bubbles underwater, and underwater photographers who don't want to drive off fish
Mm-hmm.
with bubble trails use this to recirculate air and absorb the carbon dioxide. So it's literally a thing. It's called pendulum rebreathing.
I'm gonna get in Emily's pool tomorrow and we're gonna try
Pendulum rebreathing.
it. Want to try it in Emily's
Oh,
pool?
we smooching underwater?
Yeah.
Nah, I think people are gonna think you're being weirdos.
That's fine.
We'll do it in a bathtub.
What the heck?
All you need is 2 feet of water.
Bathtub.
So this
I
get
go
a
on
bowl.
Spidey kisses.
yeah. Yeah, you go under. I'll just be up. I'll just put my lips in the water.
We got a river here. We can go to the river.
Yeah, we getting weird.
You don't want to open your mouth in that river, girl.
Nasty.
They
That's what I
open-
said too. They're opening their eyes underwater. I was like, ew, Amazon water.
Yeah, it was definitely cleaner looking than I'm sure it is.
Right.
They got
Yeah.
a
We
disease.
forgot to mention those ugly dolphins.
I skipped
Oh,
over
Oh
those.
yeah, they were like
Those were not
the
cool.
dolphins are cursed, and if you look into their eyes,
Yeah, it was
You have
like
nightmares
the
until you
Temple
die.
of
Yeah.
Doom. Okay, you
Yeah,
can't look
yeah.
into their eyes or your.
they were weird. Are those
thing, though.
Are dolphins-
Amazon dolphins?
like bottlenose? Is that what-
Yeah.
They were river dolphins, and they were pink, and they were scary.
They don't make that noise.
That's what a dolphin sounds like.
No, it's
Okay, you guys are making different vowel noises.
And the dolphins are not impressed. They're like, that's not what we sound like. So they drain all the
Better
water.
watch it. The Miami Dolphins are gonna be mad.
They listen to our podcast.
They're gonna come tackle
All these
every single one of
Dolphins
us. Gonna come
fans.
tackle us.
Move along, people.
So they drain all the water. It reveals to them the tree, but it's dead. The tree no life.
It's hecka dead.
It's very dead.
Also, Joaquin's there on his freaking submarine.
Joaquin has arrived. He's like, hey guys, hello, I have your little brother or whatever. And
Yeah, just like that.
I just want to know how much of it drained. Like, did you
Have your
just
little
stop?
brother?
Like a lot.
Did you
A
just
lot.
stop the river somewhere? Like, how does that work?
that's a good
The
question.
ancient-
Seems like
built
a
it.
lot because like they literally walked up on it, like
Yeah.
into like almost.
So
like a temple.
did a dam pull up on the other side?
Yeah.
Because
Somewhere.
wouldn't the
No.
river just keep backlogging
How did
the
the
water?
ancients build the pyramids? The same way they built this water
This
river.
So this is the 8th wonder of the world.
Yes, not the backside of water.
It's the backside.
It's
of
the
water.
tree.
It's the underside of water.
Okay, literally. That
I didn't
is
realize
kind
I
of
was
the
making that
backside of
joke,
water.
but I did.
So they go down in there. Joaquin is like, all right, you two, you're gonna solve the arrowhead puzzle or whatever. And once you do that, I'll
And-
give you one petal.
And
He's
get
a
in
master delegator,
Get
okay?
in this
Hey, you
ball.
curse people, do this. Hey, you smart people, do that.
he's a
and
smart
get in
villain.
this ball that looks like it's from Indiana Jones.
Right,
But it's
right.
funny because like the whole time I really get the impression like he really doesn't want to kill anybody. He just wants this flower. I mean,
Who, Joaquin?
He was killing people.
it's your fault because you're getting in the way of him getting his flower because he's more
just
than
let him get
willing
his
to
flower.
give them their life.
He
if
wouldn't have to pull
gets
out
the
this
flower.
minigun on top of his submarine.
That's your fault.
That's
Get
you.
in my
That's his
way.
fault.
Get in my way.
Get in my way.
So Joaquin, he tells them that like, hey, I'm only giving up one flower to y'all. I'm taking the rest of this. I'm mining this entire thing. So either the Rock, you can take it, or Emily Blunt, you can take it, but one of you's probably gonna die. I don't know. But figure it out. And so they go in there. They break the arrowhead in half. They put a little pink diamond into the wall, and then the arrowhead in another part of the wall, and it lights up and it shines this way, and it wakes up the tree.
I really should start recording you when you describe things, because
Just as my hands are all free now, right?
yeah.
I think I needed them. I know Trader Sam only said the thing once. I wasn't paying too close attention, but I just feel like it was like weird. Oh, you have to mend the broken heart and then break the thing. There was
Turn
a
the
stone
water
in
to
it.
stone.
Like I was like, are we freaking Nicolas Cage up in
A
here?
little bit.
Like that's why I was getting those vibes too. I was like, this is a stretch. So I was trying to pretend like I was in that movie, and it was okay.
National Treasure.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, alas.
Did we watch the second National
The
Treasure
map on the
movie?
I don't
back.
think
The
we did.
Declaration of Independence.
Was it good?
Book of Secrets. I don't remember. I've maybe watched it once.
I don't know.
But we can do that too.
You
So-
knew the name of it off the top of your head, so...
So the
National
Oh,
Treasure.
you mean the Book of
Book of
Secrets?
Secrets.
The tree will only bloom under the sad, sad moon. The one that's like this. Not
Yes.
the Cheshire Cat, but this
The
one.
sad
Sad
moon.
This one's the Cheshire Cat.
It's
This
the-
one's the sad, sad moon.
It's just got to be a tiny sliver of moon.
The crying moon. That's what they said. There
Yes.
we go.
No, you called it the sad.
The sad moon.
This is the Cheshire moon
So sad moon is out right
Sad
now,
moon.
and
for like 10 seconds.
dude, I rewatched it
That moon is setting that
today,
fast.
and
The whole movie?
No, just this part. But I rewatched it. They woke up the tree at an hour and 42 minutes. The tree is dying again at an hour and 44 minutes. The tree is alive for 2 minutes total
Barely.
in this entire movie.
Barely. I feel like it bloomed, and then it immediately started.
It blooms.
They were like, the moon.
The moon's out, yay!
The moon freaking doesn't set that
Let's go get some petals. They get up to one petal and the tree's dead. so Emily Blunt
I
is
was
able.
like, what the heck? I wanted to see the tree like more.
She's able to grab one petal from the tree
Which is
right
enough.
before it dies, which is enough for her. That's all she needs, or whatever, right? And then what's happening? What am I hearing? Oh, I'm,
Luis-
Andre's
toothbrush.
Luis is brushing his teeth.
I'm hearing a toothbrush. Okay.
He has his microphone on and he's
Thought something
brushing
was wrong
his
with
teeth.
my
No.
equipment. No. It's just over there. It's picking up sound. So the petal, she has it in her hand. I believe she gives it to The Rock. What
No,
happens?
she
here?
has the petal in her hand.
No, because the other guys
and
come
Snaky
up.
Boy comes.
Yeah, Snaky
Right.
and
Snaky B-Boy and
Snooty and-
Mudman, they all roll up. Tree Guy's there
they're
too.
like, we're here too.
What's up?
And Mr. Joaquin, you betrayed us. And the freaking snake dude bites Joaquin on the head. He's like, nah. That was the snake. Nah.
Nah. Yeah, exactly like that.
And he was like, oh.
So yeah, those guys are there. Big fight breaks out. They all have
pretty
to,
much Frank looks at her and is like, dude, we done. Sorry, son. I'm going. But he does tell Cutie McGregor Pants, like, tell her, what does he say? Tell
Tell
her
her she would have been more than worth it or something.
right and
enough
that
world for me.
She deserves the pedal, so he gives her the pedal. Or he puts the pedal in McGregor's pocket, and he goes off to fight the snake homies. And also, we missed.
When
so
she shot him.
yeah, she shoots him so that she
And the
can.
German guy was like, wow.
So the German guy will give her the pedal, and then he falls into the river, and he sneaks up back because he can never die or whatever. And
must be nice.
and then when they start fighting for the pedal, Emily Blunt is there, and the German guy's like, "You better give me the pedal, otherwise you'll die. And if not, then you will die, and your brother will die, and I'll kill him very slowly."
And I'm pretty sure the brother punches him in the face like 3 times and he falls into a boulder.
So what happens is they start fighting. McGregor punches Prince Joaquin in the face. He like hits a wall, and then because he hit the wall, the piece
wall
of the
cracked.
structure cracks, falls, and violently kills Prince Joaquin.
Dude.
And McGregor's all, oh.
Like it's so funny.
Can you imagine you did that? Like, what the?
That's not what I was expecting.
It's so funny because a man is standing there, right? A gigantic boulder crushes him completely to death. Like he is squished like a bug, right? And then the next shot is you see like his 2 little boots coming out from underneath.
Dude, it was-
like he got stomped like the Wicked Witch of the West or
It's
whatever.
exactly what I said. I was like, well,
He got Wicked Witched.
He got wicked.
But the falling was very violent. So he's dead.
And McGregor was like, what?
That's not what I wanted to happen. So The Rock is fighting Mudman and his cronies or whatever.
And he decides that he's going to run the ship into the wall to block the dam so that there's no water.
Right. So if there's no water, then these guys will be trapped down here forever, and
Exactly.
him
And him too.
So that's what happens. He crashes into the thing. They all get lasered into the wall. What happens to them? They turn to stone. They all turn to stone. And Lily and McGregor just have to watch on from the sidelines.
Which-
Like, now,
I'll be
kinda
honest,
sad.
with the way water flows in this movie, I don't really understand how the way that he did it would block the
I
water.
agree.
Right.
Because he would have been coming in with the water. He was like going with the flow of water, and then he does it. And then,
towards the wall.
It was a stretch for me.
Maybe-
And also the water got blocked like that quickly and drained that quickly. You know what I mean? Like after he
I don't
ran the
know.
boat in there.
It's
Again-
magic Amazon River water, you know?
fancy water.
It's fancy water.
Hey, we don't know nothing about curses.
I don't know about these
Amazon.
curses. So he's all cursed and up against the wall, and she's like, "Oh man."
They said they have same day delivery. Okay, they're out here like
Not if they
getting
have
tied
no
up in
water.
vines.
This is Amazon Prime River, okay? It's very fancy.
On Prime River.
So
It was on Prime Day.
she's crying because he's trapped against the wall, and then I believe she pulls the pedal out, and what does
Puts it in his mouth.
She puts it in his
That's
mouth.
some Rapunzel business.
That's where it's
Okay.
supposed to go, okay? Right there. That's why he left his mouth open when he got stoned or whatever. So
And I think he went like,
so
nothing happened.
I think nothing happens, and she's like, "Well, what a waste of a trip." And she starts walking away, and then he like starts coming back to life. He cracks.
No,
up
the
out of
kitty
the
meow
stone.
meow's like, meow, 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 meow. And then he comes
Kitty
back to
meow
life.
meow.
Kitty meow meow.
Oh, that cat, that,
Meow, meow, meow. Kitty meow meow.
Kitty
Yeah,
meow
like,
meow.
you touched on the earlier point you all made. I don't think that the moon set is just the opening was small. That
Right.
the moon was still out and it was still dark. It's just you couldn't see it through it couldn't shine through there onto the tree.
Right, but I think also
Yeah, like Lord of the Rings.
it had to have the arrowhead with the little jewel piece all in there together with that particular type of
Because
moon
didn't
shining
the
through
moon
through
shine
light.
it on that little green thing, and that's what?
Yes,
Okay.
on like the pedal.
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Very much
But
like
it's
I
like
think
also
Indiana
like,
Jones.
homie, you could just wait there a month for the moon to come back.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
She was already eating piranhas.
Yeah, let's hang out, see some more piranha.
Well, I mean, Prince Yakin was not
Tastes like blood.
gonna be patient, you know.
Yeah, well, he was dead.
I mean, he's already crushed at this point. But yeah, I guess they
Yeah, but she's gonna be stuck down there in the Amazon. Like, I don't know how she's getting out.
So she wakes him up, right? He comes back to life, and she like punches him, and he's like, "Ow, that hurt! I'm bleeding."
and she's like, yay.
Yeah, you can actually hurt. You can feel the curse has been broken for the Rock and the Rock only. These other dudes, they are stuck to the wall forever.
And then the sun shines through. I mean, the moon shines through, and they get one more petal.
Yeah, the moon comes back out.
Which I won't
Guess it was a
lie.
cloud.
I
I
thought
was
that
annoyed by
was
that.
yeah.
I was like,
No.
oh, okay.
I mean, that stings for those guys. Like at that point, they're just like, I wanna die.
yeah, I know. Can you put the pedal?
They
in my
said
mouth?
it was worse than death. They're like, this is torture.
I didn't like that the what do you call it?
Conquistadors.
No, that the moon came back out.
Right.
Or
yeah.
that it moved enough, like, come on. Like, if there had been 2 holes in the ceiling and it shifted enough for it to come through again, that would have been cooler.
I kind of wanted them
I mean-
to be like Tarzan and Jane and live in the Amazon and harvest the flowers like the Black Panther or something.
Think about it like
that'd be
Durin's Day,
cool.
you know?
Yeah, but why would you it start and then stop and then start again?
I mean, the last light
Maybe a
of Durin's
cloud.
Day.
If it was cloudy night.
But we
you know?
didn't say no
Yeah, we ain't
clouds.
see no clouds.
No, and like I said, baby, the opening.
They
was
could have
small.
gone back knowing.
But don't they need more than one flower
For what?
to cure the world?
In 1916, probably.
Yeah, probably. You can't like.
So
clone
like
that
that's why I was
flower
thinking I
petal.
kind of wanted them to live in the Amazon still and like harvest the flower and be like we're homies.
I mean,
we're
yeah,
harvesting
that's,
this.
a possibility, I
Like,
suppose.
does she take the arrow back, or did she leave the arrow there? Can
Where's the
nobody get
arrow?
it?
Inside the
It was
little
in that
thing.
ball thing. The
They
Indiana
all were
Jones
booking
ball.
it. I think that ball thing got crushed.
Oh,
somewhere.
speaking of the ball thing, that's where I was like, this is Indiana Jones.
Right.
I thought it was going to like fall and
Yeah,
crush
same.
somebody.
I thought it was gonna be rolling for sure.
So
Yeah.
I don't really know.
rolls.
I didn't get enough closure on that, but it was so good.
Yeah. So they get the flower. He gives it to her. They're both alive and kicking, and they go back to the beginning of the river. The Rock fixes up Nilo's boats that he had busted and broken before, and
Then they go to England
then they go to England, and the movie
and
ends.
drive an automobile in her pantalones.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's what he was like obsessed with, because he could never leave the river. He was trapped there. He was cursed, so he was stuck there and couldn't drive a car. He just had to drive a boat for 400 years. Rough.
At least he got to drive
But he
something.
got to drive, you know. He reached his dream. So, you know, I guess we'll see what kind of vehicle he gets into in Jungle Cruise 2,
Stop.
which might come out. I don't
Dude,
I don't
they
actually
said there's
know.
going to be a Cruella too already.
Oh no!
Oh,
I should not
no.
have done that.
They shouldn't have not done that.
They should have not have done that.
It was a good self-contained story.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jungle Cruise needs a 2
No,
either.
definitely, I agree. This is it.
We can.
No, Disney will always go
for a
again.
sequel? Yeah.
Look
Trying
at
to bleed
pirates.
that poor goat, man. Like, isn't that how the saying goes?
Bleed the goat?
Yeah, bleed it go dry.
Yeah.
think
Isn't
that's
it,
it,
is it a
right?
goat or what other kind of?
I don't know what kind of animal it is, but yeah, something's getting bled. And and yeah,
Stop.
Disney loves to bleed stuff.
Looking like Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh.
I didn't watch that one, but that's when he was skinny, right? Mm-hmm. Skinny and a mustache. This movie had a budget of $200 million,
Jeez.
And because of the pandemic, it has made a global worldwide box office of $158 million.
Oh no! And isn't The Rock also mad about this? Isn't he suing Disney?
He hasn't said anything.
I don't
about
believe.
it.
I don't believe he said anything
I think
quite
someone
yet.
said that he was gonna sue Disney too, like how ScarJo.
No.
Because Scarlett
Or is it just a
Johansson,
rumor?
she did sue Disney, and I think a bunch of articles came out going like, well, will The Rock sue?
Yeah,
Emma
Yeah,
Watson
I saw an
sue?
article that
Will-
said that he might or
Well,
it's just
something
like
like
what
that.
if?
Emma,
Dude,
what's her
didn't
name?
Disney like say they're not
Emily
gonna
Blunt?
cast ScarJo
Yeah.
and like anything else now?
What?
They're heckin' mad at ScarJo.
I don't think
It's not outwardly said, but they're not going to cast her.
Yeah, I don't think they've said that, but I think she knew that going into this. She's been in a few of their movies. I think she'll be all right.
Hollywood peeps are very vindictive. Like, they'll make sure you don't get hired.
They're blacklisted.
Right, exactly.
And that's why I think Rock hasn't done anything, because he's like, well,
He's on a lot of Disney movies. Yeah.
well, if I'm gonna, if my, producing company's gonna stay afloat, I can't stir the pot here,
It's just like the times.
But here's the deal, though.
too.
Like, 150 compared to 200 that they spent. I mean, it's not the worst.
It's not bad.
You know?
And
It hasn't
But
been
it
out
is
that
to
long.
it has
Disney.
not been out that long. It only
Who's
came
now
out.
gonna charge us for fast passes?
It only came out a couple of weeks ago.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about that.
I
Please,
know.
And then
no.
here,
They're trying to make up for their lost money, but like it's Disney. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be fine.
I don't want to talk about it. It makes me very angry. But
And
yes.
also, this movie was good.
rate it.
It was really good, but like I get that it didn't make money just because the times. But going forward, I'm so curious to see.
Was this in the
What's-
theaters as well?
It
Yes.
was.
So-
But I'm just so curious to see what's going to happen. Because now Andre, I mean, you guys know that Andre is like the biggest movie buff. He loves going to the movies. And before the pandemic, that was like his favorite thing to do. But now we're picking and choosing the movies that we go to because we don't really want to be around a lot of people.
Right.
Like we're like, we'll see big budget things that are going to look good on the big screen. But like Jungle Cruise wasn't one of them. So yeah, I watched it at home. So it's going to affect those box offices a lot.
Yeah, and it depends on what they decide to do with the rest of their movies that are coming up for this year and the future.
But you know what? Here's my question. Does it really affect the box office?
It does. Can you compare this to what Suicide Squad made? Because they came out like the same weekend.
Sure.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like you're really just hurting the film and the movie theater industry with this.
Yeah, so why don't you just come out on Disney Plus then?
Because
Yeah.
they won't make enough money to pay for their movie that they
That
made.
makes no sense to me
Even if
because
they're doing their $30
So-
premiere
because
access?
theaters only make money off of like I read somewhere that like the theater money.
They have to spend money to get the movies into their
Yeah,
theaters.
so they pay the
So they
company
pay
that.
the movie studio, right? They pay the movie studio a portion of each ticket box office sale, right? So if it's a $15 ticket, like probably more like $7 or $8 will go to the movie studio, and the theater will keep the rest of
Well,
it.
that's why Disney Plus would make more money if they just do it all online.
Exactly, but the thing about it is,
But they're paying $30 for us as a family versus
per ticket.
I don't know.
yes.
Yeah, that
so
is true.
it's not only per ticket sales, but like you have to think about movies before the pandemic when everybody would go to the movies.
Yeah.
And hundreds of thousands of people all at the same time worldwide would spend money to watch a movie. When freaking when Endgame came out, that movie cost like $275 million to make. It's a lot
made
of
$1 billion,
money,
over
and it
$1 billion.
made $2 billion.
I know.
So that the return on that is so much more worth it than spend 200 and get 158 back like they're doing with this.
I mean,
one, you know?
I get it too because like you're right. It's not as if you're paying $30 per person. Right here, we're
Yeah.
not spending, what is this, like 120 to watch it here on Disney Plus. We're spending 30.
Right.
Yeah, we're
You know,
just
'cause
sharing
we're
our
getting-
info.
We're getting together and we're watching it,
We
together.
didn't say that on
Sorry.
air.
You can bleep that.
Come get me, Disney. Go for it.
My
Sign
mom
up
was
for
so
my
happy I
subscription.
bought this one. She was like, "Can I have that info?" I was like, "No."
Didn't you get in trouble with like Homeland Security or something?
Yeah.
Skirt. Beep. So the
You like how I said Homeland Security?
yeah, I know. It definitely wasn't that.
Shield
Hey,
came in
better be
hard.
quiet. Andre's FBI agent, so they're like,
Man, I got swatted.
I paid for the movie. It's all good. So
you're
what
right.
did Suicide
They make
Squad
more
make?
money in
So
the
the
theaters.
What
Sui-
was Suicide's?
The Suicide
and
Squad. Hang
much
on
did
a
it cost?
second. I didn't get the budget.
Did you watch it, Luis?
We both watched it.
That great.
I liked it a lot.
We liked it.
It was way better than the other one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
compared.
the rat catcher just stole my heart. I loved her
yeah.
so
She was
much.
great.
We saw it
but,
in
like,
the theater though.
it's
We were in the
still-
mood for like a, you know.
It still
Okay.
wasn't the best.
So the Suicide Squad came out. It had a budget of $185 million, and it made a box office of $121 million.
That's still not bad.
So not
it
so
made
about the same.
it made around the same as much money, give or take $30 million.
But comparatively.
But it had a lower budget, and also the thing with HBO Max is that all those movies come out for free on that
Yeah,
platform.
you have
they
a
didn't make-
subscription.
Right, so it comes out in theaters and it comes out on HBO Max, and
That's
you,
how we
you
saw
are-
Quiet Place 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we watched the Suicide Squad. Actually, no, we didn't.
No, we went to the
we went to
theater,
theater to
'cause
see
we
that.
wanted to.
But with Disney, they are charging $30 per account, right?
But
To watch
they're
the
not doing it in the same way.
to watch the premiere
Like,
access movies.
But I still think it's weird that like we didn't have to pay for premiere access for the Pixar ones, but we had to pay for premiere access to these ones.
That's
like,
a-
what's the point?
That's a choice that they made, you know. So
But
like,
Pixar. Are you saying Pixar's not as good, or are you just like,
I mean,
Pixar, whatever?
that's-
You
I
guys
think
can have
the
it.
That's what it
voice
can be.
acting is different than physical acting.
well, besides
Okay.
besides that, the way that you can look at it is that they're charging premiere access for these things that they know would make a lot of money in the theaters, but the theaters are kind of dead right now, right? But also they have to offer Disney Plus as a service to be viable and for you to get stuff without having to pay extra on top of it, right? So I think that's what Pixar adds to that equation. It is Disney Plus, you get everything. We got brand new Pixar movies you don't have to pay extra for. Come get it, sign up, $10 a month or whatever. And also you can watch your favorite Marvel movies at home while they're out
Minus
in the,
Spider-Man,
in the theaters.
but yeah.
Well, yeah, Spider-Man's not going to be on. Not gonna be on.
I know. I just think it frustrates me because to me that makes me feel like Luca wasn't worth paying for. Like Luca was worth paying for more than Mulan. You know what I mean? But I had to pay for Mulan.
Yeah.
Didn't
Like
we pay for Raya though?
Yes, we did pay for
It's just the
Raya.
Pixar one.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It was Onward, Soul, and Luca. I don't know why. That's why I'm like, why are they devaluing? To me personally, it feels like they're devaluing like the Pixar ones.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. But
It's
that's
just
their
really
business model.
gonna be interesting to see where the movies go as a
Guys,
business.
there's a new Bob in charge, right? So new Bob is like, hey, this is the decisions that we're gonna make, and
Yeah.
you know, he
Bob.
checks his way.
Chapek.
Bob Chapek, he's the CEO of
Not
Disney,
Iger anymore.
and it was
Bob
Bob
Iger's
It was
gone.
Bob Iger. So they moved on. New Bob. New Bob, new Disney.
Let's rate this movie.
Bob,
It's
Bob,
like,
Bob.
Because I
Bo,
was
bo, 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 bo.
the one girl from
Surprise.
the Earth Kingdom, what was her name?
Bo.
No.
Bob.
Toph,
Toph.
No, from Bossing Say. Judy.
Judy.
And it's
Do the thing.
it really is another Judy, but looks different. That's what's happening with Disney. Disney's really
my
taking
God.
all these Bobs, brainwashing them, and just what are you talking about? This is Bob. Bob never left.
Bob's not gone. Bob's right here. He's
I'm
making
done
all the
with you.
decisions. On Rotten Tomatoes, The Jungle Cruise currently has a 63% on the tomato meter.
pretty low.
Wow.
Okay,
Which one? Which one?
Still fresh. Jungle Cruise. It's still fresh, but not certified
That's
fresh.
not quite
That's
fresh.
a D.
Okay, it's a
That's
D.
not fresh.
But it has a 92% audience score.
There you
What's the
go.
critic consensus?
Okay, the critics' consensus says its craft isn't quite as sturdy as some of the classic adventures it's indebted to, but Jungle Cruise remains a fun, family-friendly voyage. There's also an audience consensus which says, funny, full of action, and an all-around good time, Jungle Cruise is a ride well worth taking.
I agree with that one.
Here's
Yeah.
my thing. All of a sudden, within the last 20 odd years, Rotten Tomatoes has more credibility than Robert and Rupert and whatever they were.
IMDb?
Siskel and Ebert, or
Like,
whatever their names are.
since when do they have more credibility?
Well, because it's an aggregate of all the critics, right? So it's
It's an
What's the
average.
difference between the critics'
Ebert
score?
and Robert, right? And then all of their compatriots, all of their peers, they all write their individual reviews, and then what Rotten Tomatoes does
Is averages them.
takes all of those and averages them into a percentage. So it's not that everybody gave this movie a D. It's that a bunch of people gave it an F. Some people gave it an A. Some people gave it a B. Some people gave it a C, and that
Then
all
why is
combined
the
together
critics'
to make
consensus higher?
because critics consensus
No, the
is lower than
audience
this.
score is
the audience
higher.
score is higher because there
Because-
are only 312 critics reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, but there are 5,000 audience.
So that means that you had quite a few negative reviews
from the critics
to bring it down.
Right. But most audience members who went to see
Don't
it,
agree
and
with
then
it.
and then came and made a review on RottenTomatoes.com liked it.
There's one Star Wars movie. I think it's the last Star Wars movie. It has like a really good critic rating, and the audience scores like crap. Where they were like, "We do not agree with you." But I'm gonna give this movie an 8.5. It was really solid. I really liked it, and I want to watch it again because I love The Rock and like anything that he's in, and they made it really fun and like a good storyline. And it tied into the ride perfectly. Like Louis said, right on the nose, just enough at the beginning, and then we faded it out, which I really liked and appreciated.
Well, and even now that I'm thinking about it, I thought that what they did with the Trader Sam thing in the ride was witty. And now that I'm thinking back to it, I think it's not like homaging to the movie, but you could in your mind be like, oh, okay, that
Tied
makes sense.
Similarly.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is cool.
And it was just like a little play off of it where I was like, oh, it's Trader Sam. You
Yeah.
know, like we love going to Trader Sam's Tiki Bar.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, I don't know what... I haven't been on the new version of the ride or whatever, so I don't know what differences they've made. But it definitely caused a lot less controversy than changing anything in Pirates, right? When they threw Jack Sparrow in there, it was crazy.
Is there a rock animatronic?
No, but that would be great.
Just like how there's a Johnny Depp one. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Andre, what are you
was
going to
it?
give
Was it
this
just
movie?
like a bar that was empty?
Okay.
Trader Sam, was it just like a post that was empty?
No.
What was it again?
2
Yup.
for 1.
2 for 1 head special. What?
And they were carrying like the mini heads, right?
Yeah.
The shrunken heads.
Shrunken
No.
heads.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore, but it was fun. It was funny.
It was cute.
Andre, what are you going to give this movie?
I think I'm gonna give this movie a 7.5. It was quite good, very serviceable, very funny. I was laughing almost the whole way through. I like the performances. Something about the music stood out to me. The James Newton Howard score. It felt like very jubilant and joyous and adventurous, which I think is obviously done on purpose. But for some reason, it was like pulling me out and making me think of this movie as like a kid's movie, like a little kid's movie. I mean, not like super little, obviously, but it felt like the tone of the music mixed with the action made it feel
Disjointed.
a little disjointed, and felt like it was targeted at a younger audience. Like sometimes some of the like slapsticky fighting that they're doing feels a little sillier and stuff like that. And
So you had a Paw Patrol score.
yeah. So none of this
Luis
makes
just watched the Paw Patrol movie today, so I
Right.
feel like he would agree with that.
none
That
of
thing was
this.
full of action, man. Like I thought I was watching a freaking Mission Impossible movie.
Oh, okay, Paw Patrol, let's go.
Hey.
So none of this makes it a bad movie. It's just that it did pull me out of it enough for me to notice and make me think that it wasn't necessarily for me.
Okay.
But overall, The Rock, Emily Blunt, I loved Jesse Plemons, I loved the brother McGregor, all great performances, funny stuff, and I did like the plot and the twists. They were able to surprise me several times in this movie, which I was happy about.
Luis.
I think this movie, you hit it on the spot with an 8.5. It was, I like anything with The Rock, honestly. You know, I wouldn't
Same.
call myself like a Rock fanboy, but like some of these wrestlers, man, they're not half bad actors.
John
you know?
Cena ain't doing half bad either.
I mean, yeah, John
Batista.
Cena was the perfect whatever
Freaking
his name
hilarious.
was because he was just
Peacemaker.
dumb. Yeah,
Freaking
he made it
hilarious.
perfectly. And
Ridiculous.
you know, Dave Bautista is apparently got his own show on HBO or something.
They're
like
out there
that.
doing
Because
it.
they're actors, if you think about it.
I mean, he's pretty
Wrestling.
good, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Hulk Hogan wasn't no actor, neither was
Well.
Randy Savage. I mean,
No.
you know,
Didn't-
Rey Mysterio never took off his mask if anyone would even give him a job. So, not
Yeah.
all wrestlers are actors,
Yeah,
but
that wrestling
I
job.
see what you mean, though.
It's
You know.
a performance.
Yeah.
Emily.
I'm going to give it an 8.
8.
Thought it was really good. I really liked it. I want to watch it again. I might give it an 8.5 second time around because I feel like
Mine
the
might
things
even
that
go
I,
higher because
the stuff that I missed in the beginning,
Might have
I
been
think might have
important.
like fixed some of my issues
Right.
Yeah.
the first time. And that's just user error on my part. But I really liked this movie a lot. And like I said, I do want to watch it again. I am surprised at how well the chemistry was, like the chemistry between The Rock and Emily Blunt. I thought that it worked.
They're good actors.
They're good together.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Andre. I mean, I thought there was going to be some flirty things, but not like an actual romance. But it got there, and it wasn't annoying.
Exactly.
It was sweet. it was unique.
They did it right. You know, they started off with them being adversarial towards each other, and then they start calling each other names, and those names start to become nicknames, and then they become pet names, and then they're smooching underwater, and then you're like, okay. Yeah, at the end of the movie.
Did the kids like it?
The kids really did like it, yeah.
Did they like this or like Raya better? Probably Raya. Huh?
Raya.
I mean,
Raya.
I've still only seen Raya once. You guys have seen it so many times.
Oh, we've seen it multiple times now. And that was a movie that I liked more after watching multiple times.
I rewatched Luca. And I
think we watched it maybe
Luca's
twice. That one's just
solid,
good.
man.
Luca's great.
It's really
solid.
good.
Yeah, so
but the kids really liked Proxima a lot.
Yeah, Proxima was great.
Mouse.
Biting people and throwing up. Getting drunk.
Oh, freaking! It's funny because, like, I think the kids were into Jungle Cruise, but like there were some points where they weren't, you know.
Right. Checked out.
Yeah, and kind of like a little bit of a side story. Addie's heck into the Flash right now.
Oh, okay.
The WB one. Mm-hmm. She's like sitting on that couch all quiet watching, you know, and with Jungle Cruise she must have got up 6 or 7 times to go play and then come back. Like,
Addie's super into superheroes right now. So
my gosh.
Loves superheroes.
Yeah, she does.
So for Jungle Cruise, where would you guys put it on the Premier Access recommendation scale? Would you recommend?
I would. If you wouldn't have shared the code, we would have bought it.
Oh yeah, we were gonna buy it.
For this one, for sure. Mulan is the only one so far where I was like, why did I?
I am so happy I dodged that bullet.
What?
Mulan.
Oh.
That one? Yeah.
You still haven't seen it.
Nah.
I
You
mean,
can
it's
watch it
out
now,
on,
it's available.
on Disney Plus for everybody.
No, I don't think I will.
You know,
wanna
nobody's talking about it for a reason.
A Phoenix over and over and over again. Anyway, yeah, I think in terms of this one's up there with Cruella for me as being
I agree.
being a worthwhile watch, worthwhile buy. Yeah.
They're all worth it.
Good stuff, Jungle Cruise.
So we're gonna like completely flip our switches away from live action
Flipping
for
scripts.
our next episode. So
switches.
back
Hold on,
to
can I
our-
read? Hold on, I'm sorry. Can I read something about the movie?
Yes.
Apparently, Emily Blunt ghosted The Rock. During the promotional tour, The Rock revealed that Emily Blunt was brought on board to the project in the first place. And because he is her fan, he really liked her. So he reached out to her, attempting to put her into the cast, and she ghosted him in his video messages. And then the director had to like directly reach out to her for her to consider it.
Wow.
And Dwayne won't let it go.
I bet.
And he won't let her forget about it.
Yeah.
Although he seems to be joking about it, he is still really upset about it.
Seems to be joking.
So he's going to continue.
It's like you don't ghost freaking Nick Fury, man. You don't ghost The Rock.
Don't ghost him. Okay.
And then it's funny because in this article I'm reading, it talks about Indiana Jones inspiration and a legacy of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. So it's funny that we both said that. Because there you go.
I think it's a good mix of
Vibes.
both.
Yeah, I think
It fits in Adventureland perfectly, don't it?
Exactly. Yeah, they made a good.
I'm just saying that
adventure
you
movie.
could
It's an Adventureland movie.
Yeah, for sure.
You could transform.
I mean,
the
those
Nemo
3 rides are
submarine
in
ride.
Adventureland.
You could transform.
I
the
always think about
submarine
pirates
ride
being in
into-
New Orleans Square.
Into an Adventureland.
into
But I
Das.
suppose
submarine.
it's Adventureland-esque.
Joaquin.
That's Joaquin.
Oh, maybe it is in New Orleans.
Huh?
What?
It's in the center. I don't know. I've never thought about it being in Adventureland, but
like right
it's
there.
on the corner. Pirates.
Oh.
It's a New Orleans Square ride. Hit that one in Haunted Mansion, but it's like right by Adventureland,
Yeah.
you know?
It's
That's
adventure-esque.
That's definitely.
New Orleans Square.
Well, hold on. Adventureland is like.
Jungle Cruise and
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, but it's right by it.
Yeah.
I would say the architecture just puts it.
Hey,
over
they
New
made
Orleans.
movies for all those rides right there.
Yeah, they
Jungle
did.
Cruise, Indiana Jones,
Well,
Pirates of the
technically,
Caribbean, Haunted Mansion.
The ride is off of Indiana.
Yeah,
Jones.
Indiana
I know,
Jones
but I'm
is a
saying
movie.
that all those rides right there have
Have a
movies.
movie, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
And so does Princess and the Frog and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Why doesn't the Disney train have a freaking ride movie?
Doesn't need one.
French movie.
It goes back in time to Primeval World, though.
Whatever.
Let's see the Space Mountain movie. Let's go.
Absolutely not.
Let's go.
We already did freaking Tomorrowland. That was enough.
Dang.
What's that? Yeah.
I guess that wraps
They
up.
put Star Wars inside of the other one.
I was
It'll be
gonna say
fine.
Escape to Witch Mountain.
Yeah, I guess so.
Next, we're gonna get a
Different
Frontierland
mountain.
ride.
No.
So,
Toy
That's
Story.
called Dirty Harry.
the next movie we'll be
done.
talking about
Yeah, we need to move on, people.
is going to be a classic, old
Yeah,
school. We're
which
going way back.
Which we have been putting off because honestly, it seems like sad.
Why you say it like that?
Seems like
Sad. Because it's Bambi.
we're watching the 1942 animated
42.
film Bambi.
I can't remember what episode
mean
it
mommy
was.
jerky?
But
Oh
Emily
my
put her
god.
mic all the way down.
Dang.
Yes. Yeah, we're watching Bambi
Petrify.
next time, guys. So get your Disney Pluses up and watch Bambi. It's only an hour and 12 minutes, which
Wow.
I was surprised by.
that was the ding ding dinger on watching
yeah.
it this week.
Short movie. Yay! Yes, absolutely.
We're
I'm
going
always
back to school mode right now.
always down for a short movie. So get
Am I
ready
the
for
only one going
that
back to school?
on episode
Excuse
155.
you. Andre's in school. I gotta watch a kid who's in school. Michelle's working with kids who are in school.
Yeah, we in school.
School.
Let's go.
School.
School sucks.
No,
You can keep up with us on social media. We are at the Walt Vault Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit us up, slide into our DMs. Let us know what you thought of Jungle Cruise. Did you like it? Did you hate it? You can send an email to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com. Send that email in. We'll read your message on the show. You can support us on patreon.com/thewaltvault, where we give you a little bit of extra content every once in a while. And you can help us keep the lights on in this dark vault. You can also buy our merch on bonfire.com. Our link is in the description below. Just start an order and everybody buy your shirts at the same time, and then all come within a couple of weeks.
Get my face on your chest.
Get your face. Get Luis's face on your chest. It's a good face.
Get my face on your chest.
Put his face on your chest.
Rep your crest, homie.
Or you,
Okay.
or you can just get one of our logos. You don't have to.
I was talking about our logo for that last one.
Oh,
so-
okay.
I don't know.
I
Crest.
mean, it's more of a crest than my actual beautiful face, so.
Yep.
We should have put.
Andre's wearing it as we
We
speak.
should have put his
Practice
face in
up.
the middle, right here.
Can we get a shirt with
Like my
the
little
Louis asks
Photoshops?
a question
Oh, with the
face?
googly, with the googly
Get
eyes.
out of here. No.
Yes.
No.
Put his
Alright.
face on a spork, please.
Yes, hey, check out our new merch at the store. We got Luis is all over the place. Get his face on your shirts, on your hoodies, on your tank
I
tops.
don't know.
Visit our website, we're thewaltvaultpod.com, and that is it for this week. We will see you guys next time for some Bambi goodness.
Mama jerky.
The vault is now closed.